What's going on, everybody? Welcome to our final edition of Monday Night Football Talk with Seahawks Talk here and Darwin's Raven before the draft. Today we got two special guests. We have Hill down here and Bryant Culp. I'm totally backwards with the signs. How you guys doing?
Really good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, anytime, Bryant. You're always welcome.
Super excited. It's finally draft time. It's just about there.
Oh, I know. I've been waiting so hard. I'll tell you guys, next season, the goal is to be at the draft live.
How about you, Kyle? How
Where's
you
it at
doing?
next year?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're good. Where's the draft next year?
I'm not even sure. Don't care. Want to be there.
I thought maybe that was the reason. But no, I'm doing good, man. It's definitely exciting. What do you got? 48 hours till draft time? Or it's Monday, 72.
72 hours, yeah, roughly. Actually, we're a little less than that now, but yeah, it's definitely ramping up. So today we're gonna do a full 7-round. I'm just kidding. Today we're gonna do either the first or second round. More than likely, we'll probably just do the first, but we might do a second round too, and we'll kind of skim past the second round. But today, before we get on to anything, is there anything that anybody wants to talk about before we get into mock draft stuff? Like the Aaron Rodgers trade, that was kind of a huge fucking deal.
I know, there's a lot to go on. By the way, NFL draft, Detroit next year. They've already settled it.
You ain't going, dude. That's ghetto.
Yeah,
You don't want to go there.
Hey, man, if you go to Detroit, you got to check out the trip tunnel.
Sure. Check out 8 Mile, too, while you're there.
I spent a good time in Detroit with the airline, so...
What do you guys think of the Aaron Rodgers deal? I was surprised that happened before the draft.
I think it's interesting that they did it before the draft because they got their first round pick and they were able to swap. So they made it happen this year. If it would have happened afterwards, because they still were saying it's probably going to happen, the Jets, but everything would have been next year. So I think it's really interesting. And it's funny that Brett went there and now Aaron's going there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's like 2008 all over again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people were saying that the Jets, made out like bandits, but I feel like it was one of those situations where you're at. I mean, even I saw Quandre even tweeted about it. You look at the pick swap, but you're looking at a disgruntled quarterback, though, that's also like, he doesn't really want to be there anymore. To get anything in return at that point is really good. We've seen guys giving up for, 5th round picks that are Pro Bowl players. What was that, Jalen Ramsey this year alone? I mean, that's just part of how it goes. When a player's ready to leave, your team's really not going to get compensation. That is fair. So
I thought they got more than that. I thought they even got more than it seemed like, or than I thought they were going to get, just because of the fact that they got basically a first round pick next year as well.
Yeah.
What was it, like 60% Rodgers starts? It turns into a first or something, 65%?
Yeah, 65%. So,
which, I mean, at the end of the day, like, if he doesn't start 65%, the Jets are probably going to suck anyways. They're going to have a decent draft pick themselves. So,
yeah, I don't think really they gave up too much. And like you were mentioning a moment ago, he was disgruntled. He was on his way out. The Packers needed to move this cap space, and the Jets wanted a little, everyone wanted their ammo before this draft, essentially, and they flipped first picks. They basically flipped a 6 for a 5th because the Jets are receiving a 5th. The Packers are receiving a 6th. So it's basically a second rounder and a conditional first round pick, in 2024 based on that snap percentage.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
So I really think it's a decent trade. Nothing really. I think both sides are kind of getting what they want and moving on.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think anything was stupid by either side because obviously the Packers had to get rid of him. They couldn't afford to even keep him on their books, right? So, and then you're not going to start Zach Wilson after all the shit you talked about bringing in a veteran quarterback and being serious about bringing in a veteran quarterback. So,
now there's a lot of talk that they want to keep Zach Wilson and they want him to groom, and
I think that's their plan.
And I don't understand, why would you do that with Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to groom people. He doesn't want to develop anybody. So,
well, I think it might be different because he's going into pardon me. he's going in a situation where the guy was there already.
I think Zach Wilson gets moved late round for like 5th round. This pick, like for a 5th to 7th round, and basically the Jets draft a quarterback. This is kind of a deep quarterback class, rated as a +2 margin. It's the highest margin behind edge rushers. So I think they move on. They're going to group someone behind Aaron Rodgers. It's not going to be Zach Wilson.
I think it might be. I really do.
Only time will tell, right?
I think, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they trade him away, but at the same time, like, what's the point? You spent the 4th overall pick, maybe it was a 2nd overall pick on him. Like, why not try to get the best value that you can out of him? And I think the best value isn't a 6th or 7th round pick. I think the best value is having him sit behind Rodgers for 2 years.
I really like.
I think he has talent, there's potential.
Yeah,
I really liked him when he first came out. I was hoping the Niners possibly could maneuver and get him. With the Jets being at 2 and the Niners being at 3, I thought there was an opportunity. Maybe they would do some kind of backyard deal or something like that, because it seemed like the Niners really liked Zach Wilson, but nobody was trading with the Niners. And then when we finally got the trade and we were able to move up, I don't think the Niners really knew who they wanted, and they were just kind of letting everybody pick. I think everybody knew the Jaguar quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, was going first. People, I think, got scared of that. I think the Niners got scared of that and moved off of him too. And I just think, sometimes you don't fall in love with the school, but I kind of did. I like BYU because of Steve Young, and Zach Wilson had that one throw in Combine, and everybody got sold on him, but. I don't know.
See, I was never sold on him, man. I was never sold on the kid.
It sucks because you think
it's one of those ones, like you were saying, watching the tape and watching the level of competition at BYU. I was like, I got vibes. I'm like, how is this? Because I don't have anything against BYU. I'm Dennis Pitta, but it just, I don't know.
I just like that everybody hated on that guy until he slept with his mom's friend. And then he was like, and then everybody's like, oh man, this is my
viral
guy. Right?
Star.
This guy's sweet. And then he sucked, and then everybody hates on him again. So he had a good solid 2 months there where he was like a legend. And then it kind of took a turn south when he kind of sucked at football. But
it's rare when you get into this. Good move in the NFL.
Sorry.
What's that, Kyle?
No, you're good. I said it's kind of rare, especially as a rookie, when you turn into like a quality meme in the NFL. I feel like normally you're just getting shit on for something, and this dude was just MILF City, basically.
Yeah, everybody was hyping him up. What were you saying, Levi?
I was going to ask, what do y'all think the realistic possibility that Houston trades the number 2 overall pick?
No. I think that's all just a smokescreen. I think they're going to take CJ Stroud. I guess Bryant will figure out who they take, right? So he's got the AFC South. So yeah, I don't know. I
this would be crazy if we did trades too, but I know my PFF won't let me do real trades.
Here's my thing. I will allow trades through this mock draft, but it can't be within your own division.
Like, understandable, because no one would ever trade interdivision like that.
Well, say like Levi want to trade with Kyle, or like Bryant want to trade with me. Like, I'm down with that, and I have to like accept that trade, I think. But I think for the most part, we're probably going to do no trades because it just becomes a clusterfuck.
Yeah. I've noticed a lot of mock drafts are only predicting the early trades. Basically somewhere in that top 10 range. And then
also, what up, Steve-O? He said, what up, guys, and Joe? A little slide on me there.
Sorry, we ignore chat.
That's how Steve-O always is. Green Bay taking those picks and trade in for Trey Green Bay area. Doubt it. How's it going, guys? Good. Exotic soy sauce. How about yourself?
If it did happen, they could still yell Trey area in Green Bay, so.
Oh, Zach Wilson to the Texans? Imagine? Nah, Lovie Smith won't put up with that.
6th round pick?
Yeah.
Go.
My second team is also now Green Bay now that Aaron Rodgers is gone. So I don't really care. Like, whatever.
Yeah, fuck Rodgers.
It's Jordan Love season. That's for sure. unless they go freaking crazy with number 13 and take like Hendon Hooker or something, imagine how pissed off everybody would get.
I'm just upset the AFC got harder. Like,
I don't think it's gonna happen, right? But could you imagine if the Packers did the same thing they did like 2 years ago? Where everybody's like, okay, they got their quarterback. Nope. Now we're gonna take Hendon Hooker at number 13.
It's definitely a major culture change getting rid of Rodgers, because Rodgers wasn't he was there before the coach. So now the coach is there, and the team coach, or the player coach is gone. The leader in the locker room is gone. So now everybody gets to look to LaFleur. And I don't know. I like Jordan Love. I don't know if he's the answer. But even if he is the answer for this season, I still see Green Bay taking a quarterback. Kind of have to, draft for the future. So
I'm gonna be a little salty if he ends up being like the next Aaron Rodgers, just because like Jesus, how is your fan base gonna go from Favre in 1992 was his first year with them, all the way up until 2023, right? And say Love goes the next 10 years. It's like, dude, come on. It's like ridiculous.
Spoiled.
Yeah, because we've been even us as Seahawks fans, we were spoiled with Russell Wilson for a while, and now Geno played pretty great last year. But I mean, before that, Hasselbeck was nothing special, and we had Tavares Jackson for a year, and then Charlie Whitehurst was the backup. He was dog shit. So
I kind of think Hasselbeck was underrated, but I know he had Holmgren and Sean Alexander, but Hasselbeck was he won a lot of games. Won a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
That offensive line he had, though, it was insane, because you had Walter Jones, Steve Hutchinson, 2 Hall of Famers on the left side of the line, and then Robbie Tobeck, a Pro Bowler, Chris Gray, a solid right guard, and then Sean Locklear, a solid right tackle. But basically from the center out to the left, you basically had either all pros or Pro Bowlers or Hall of Famers, right? So
I'll tell you, Exotics. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, Exotics voice sauce saying Bryce Young's to be crazy with the Panthers. I'm telling you guys, if you look at that depth chart, there's serious potential for that offense. Miles Sanders coming over from the Eagles. Adam Thielen coming over from Minnesota to man the slot. They signed DJ Chark, who's like a huge dude, ran 4.2. Terrence Marshall's more of a mid, like jump ball guy. And then they went and signed one of my favorite tight ends in free agency, Hayden Hurst. They completely retooled that wide receiver and tight end core, just all the offensive skill positions. I think Carolina's going to take the division. I'm Exotic.
I got a question though. Do you think that wide receiver combo is worth losing DJ Moore though? You got a lot of guys that haven't proven much so far.
I think they did a good job replacing. I think Thielen, of course, is no DJ Moore, because I love DJ Moore. I wanted the Ravens to draft him back in the day. He grew up in Maryland. It was sad to watch him go, but he was probably on his way out. I think he's a great, just kind of like the Niners situation with Ayuk. He's been playing great with less than the Niners had, quarterback wise. So they're not going to be able to afford to keep him. I think they've got a solid core. I think they still need a young guy to start grooming, but that's a solid core. And I think Bryce Young's going to give the offensive line a little bit of flexibility, because to be able to, move around and make plays, because that offensive line is going to be the issue.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're about ready to start this mock draft. Before we do, Kyle, is there anything you want to tell anybody, like how you became a Seahawks fan, whatever, shit like that?
I don't know. I kind of just grew up in it. I grew up, parents had season tickets that they split with some like business partners when I was young. So I was just kind of engraved in it since day one. My dad's a huge Seahawks fan, and he's big. Like, my dad loves to throw huge parties. So it was, constant big barbecues, stuff like that. I remember like snow games. He's outside smoking meat, and it's like pouring down snow. All of us are inside, and I'm probably 5 years old with all of his like drunk 40-year-old friends having a blast. But just some of my best memories. I remember sitting up in the 300 section, screaming down at the players, thinking they can hear me down there, and just one of those things, man.
Oh, they can.
Yeah. That little high pitch, pre-puberty voice screaming down at them, but. Yeah, it's just been a blast my whole life, and I definitely enjoy football more than anything. I played for like 8 years, but concussions stopped that a little earlier than I would have hoped.
Would you play? If you don't mind me asking.
What position-wise?
Yeah.
I played mostly linebacker.
Okay.
I swapped from middle to outside, but I also played. My favorite position was fullback, probably. I was always like that kid that wasn't quite fast enough to be a running back, but I love to be kind of a bowling ball. So I don't think that probably helped with concussions, but it's just part of the game.
I'm with you. I played a little bit of tight end, and then I played a little bit of linebacker as well.
See, I played tight end for a while, but it was more that I was like an undersized blocker. So I was, I mean, we're talking middle school up to like early high school, but I was just undersized for tight end. So it was more just a blocking tight end, not a lot of throwing, but I love football, couldn't play it anymore. So figured I'll just dedicate everything else to it.
I feel you on that.
Oh, hey, what's
Sorry
up,
to hear about
Jess?
the concussions too.
Jess from East Coast Red and Gold Podcast is in here. Steve-O's talking shit to you, Kyle. He says parties and barbecue when you lose. Glad we don't have that feeling.
Keep on partying, baby. The more you drink, the more you forget,
There was a lot of losing going on back then, too.
You just get a little bit used to it, I think. It's just part of the rebuild.
That's what's awesome about being a Mariners fan, too, is it makes the Seahawks look that much better. Like, you're like, oh man, amazing. At least they're not the Mariners. One more question before we get in, and I think Brian can answer this as well. Well, anybody can answer this, but Saul is with you guys. It says, can we give a prediction for the Jets right now, and how does this affect Saleh's job security? I guess we'll start with Bryant because he was there before.
Saleh, doesn't he have the Jets currently at the number 3 defense or something from last year? I think he did really well with their defense. He is a defensive-minded coach, even though now he's head coach. But so he's gonna have a really good defense, and now he doesn't have to worry about a quarterback because he has a quarterback/coach. So I definitely see the Jets making the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to win their division, but they're definitely making the playoffs. I think if they get in at 7, they could make the Super Bowl. That's how much I believe in Aaron Rodgers.
Well, you guys have beat the shit out of him.
I can leave now. So
what?
I was like, I can leave now. I know you guys aren't Aaron Rodgers fans, but I am.
No, bro, you've seen it firsthand, though. You guys were beating him in the NFC Championship every season.
But we were beating him just in the playoffs, not in the regular season, and I think regular season, he's definitely gonna have a lot of wins. So I'd put the Jets at least at 10 to 11 wins this season. That's maybe going too much, but I would say at least a solid 10. Aaron Rodgers, he's not hurt. He's not really ever really been hurt. I don't know.
He broke his collarbone that one year, but other than that, I think he usually plays through it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kyle? What's your win prediction?
Did the Jets lose any piece? I don't think they lost really any major pieces on defense either, did they?
I don't think so.
If they
That's
did,
the thing. I mean, if you look at, I don't know where they fall into that, but if they were the number 3 defense, I mean, they were a tired number 3 defense with constant turnover quarterbacks. So, I doubt they're going to regress much. I mean, you could have a little bit of luck, locker room, vibes and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'd say 9 to 10 wins, more towards 10 though, personally.
That's where I'm at.
And the Jets are the Jets. It's just hard to believe in them too much yet.
Just because they're the Jets, I'll say they sneak into the wild card with a 9-8 record. And I'm just tired of everybody riding the Jets' dick like they accomplished something already. They haven't accomplished anything. They didn't make the playoffs last year. I'm tired of it. It's like them and the Lions. Like everybody's touting them about that. And I get it. The Lions ended hot, but the Jets didn't end hot. They started hot and missed the playoffs. So I could almost see hyping up the Lions more than I'd hype up the Jets this year, even though they have Aaron Rodgers. Sorry for that tangent. But Levi, I see you thinking there.
I think Jets finished 12-5. I think they just that the teams held well together for now. We'll see how it continues and how injuries hold up. But they've still got this whole draft. They've still got probably free agent money. They can still probably restructure. And little fact, they have right now currently, it's way too early, but right now they have the 25th easiest schedule in the NFL next year. So I think that might play a part into it as well.
So we think the Patriots are losing that division?
4th place, you mean?
I really think, man, that's That easily the
I
hardest.
think the Dolphins. I just part of me, I feel I sound like a dick for saying this, but I just feel like Tua is gonna get a concussion and like everybody's gonna freak out, and then he's gonna be gone, and then it's up to Mike White. And we saw he caught lightning in a bottle for a game 2 years ago, but he's not that guy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
I love Tua, but like kind of like you said, I wish him the best. But man, the concussions and just
It's not his fault. It is
interdivision games. Like there's gonna be teams to like the Saints that are just gonna hit you, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be someone that's gonna take a dirty shot. They don't care. They don't care about the fine. They don't care about a suspension. You know, it's not gonna be a terrible shot, but it's enough.
Steve-O says, and then Brady takes the Lions to the Super Bowl. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Just being like, fuck it. They got a winning record. I'll come in for a few weeks.
I know it's probably just an article.
Oh, go ahead, Brian.
I know it's just an article, but there was an article that just came out that the Dolphins and Brady might still be a thing. So I'm not gonna question. I'm not gonna call it out until the season starts.
I won't either, just because I don't want him to come back.
See, I actually was doing a mock today. So we have our dynasty that's on year 3, and then someone else wanted to start another one, and I was like, yeah, I'll add in. And so it's weird. I've been focusing so much time on rookies recently. I have the number 1 pick, so that's pretty obvious for Bijan in the league, that I'm in. But I've been focusing on rookies so much that it's like a matter of looking at how that plays into the whole draft, for fantasy. And so I was doing a mock, and they still had Brady in there, like. It's a 25 rounder, because you're talking huge bench, little taxi squad going on, super flex. And they still had like Brady. It was basically telling me I should take Brady in like the 21st or 22nd round of that draft. And I'm like,
just in case.
The man just never leaves. Well, I don't think he's coming back
personally. It's not a bad idea, but
it's just one of those things where it's like, there's that chance and it's showing. And that's based off of millions of people that have done mocks. So that means a large majority think that if you got a pick in a 20-round draft, you might as well take him to take a chance, I guess. I mean, dude, I'm going to be rostering guys that will be lucky to, maybe start half the games.
I'd basically pair that pick with Tua. If you pick Tua, burn like whatever one of your last 2 picks on Brady as the just-in-case plan. I mean, you could use it if you're really deep as possible trade bait, too.
I'm buying Tua because he's going to be like a fantasy pickup that you can still probably snag in like the 6th, 7th round with people worried about it. So I feel good about it. I think he's gonna have
y'all ever said the video of him mirrored?
Huh?
Have y'all ever seen the video of him mirrored? Because he throws left hand, which is different for most of us. Most of us haven't, since Steve Young just about haven't seen a left-handed quarterback. And it looks weird for a lot of us. When you flip it and of course it looks like he's throwing right-handed. Holy crap, is his release so fast. Like you actually see it like normal, and you're like, okay, now I understand why he's so good. His release is so insanely fast and clean.
I got pissed off at the mirrored videos you did the other day, Levi. I was like, I cannot do the numbers backwards. He was like mirroring videos, and CJ Stroud looks like a left-hander on his YouTube page. I'm like, I literally DM'd him. I'm like, yo, I cannot do the mirrored videos.
My head kept covering because, depending on the quarter, depends on the direction they're going. So I didn't want my head covering his footwork so we could, like I was saying, man, when you're watching that quarterback, you got to watch so many different things. Like you could watch one pass play like 12 different times, watching his eyes, watching his O-line, watching his feet, watching his wide receivers. Like that, there's so many tiny things you could watch. I wish I had more film, Suddy.
All right. You guys see everything all right?
It looks solid.
I think so, yeah.
You can see the mock draft simulator?
Yeah.
Yep.
What are all those sliders on the right there?
On the right, public versus PFF board. So I'm gonna put that right in the middle. And then
it would help by enlarge the screen to full screen helps a little bit.
Joe's got that premium PFF membership.
Yeah, I'm an ass.
Shout out, thanks to Joe.
Joe will pay for any membership. Joe's a subscription guy.
I would, dude, if I had the money.
They've heard me about it before on the stream. I just tell them, I'm like, listen,
Joe, I support you.
Hey, basically the target audience for whoever they're going after, when they make an ad is me, because I'll probably be like, oh yeah, that looks good. All right, guys.
If I ever start up a business, I'm selling to Joe first.
That's probably the best person to choose. Just be like, hey, does this look cool? Yeah, okay, it's only $10 a month. All right, sweet, sign me up. Whatever.
God,
I feel like I'm such a critique compared to you with things, but you kind of, I think, level me out a little bit sometimes. But
okay, so first pick on the clock is the NFC South, which is Kyle. Before we start out, guys. Oh shoot. Sorry, before we start out, guys, I have the NFC West, NFC North. Levi has the AFC North, AFC East. Kyle has the AFC West, NFC South, and Bryant has the NFC East and AFC South. Bryant, do you think you could put that in the comments so people know?
I know what I'm picking. I don't know what you guys are picking. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna write mine down because I'm gonna forget.
I wrote them down.
I wrote mine down, even though I know.
Boys, I'm a rookie. I didn't bring a notepad. I'm using my phone notes right now.
Guys, I've almost filled up my entire notebook here with like notes from the season and the draft, basically.
I'll put it in the chat or in the chat before we start.
Oh, that's smart, actually.
I want to do more of these because I feel like I'm so unprepared, but we'll figure it out. I know.
Oh, you're fine, man. Do you have the PFF mock draft pulled up on your computer?
No.
I'd pull that up on another tab, just like control all the picks and fill them in as you go. That
Gotcha.
definitely just helps you like see everything, and then you can filter by position. And so even like I have it up to select every pick. So even like when you make the pick, I'm just going to take whatever pick you make and put it in for mine.
Makes sense.
Sorry, guys.
That way, the like players come off the board, basically.
Exactly. So you don't have to just say you're not sitting there like, oh wait, this guy.
Dude, and that's me. My memory is absolutely trash, so I need to do that. Let me pull it up.
I'm the same way, man. Like I'm ADHD to an insane level. So I've done the fantasy football drafts, like where it's all online, and I've done the parties where we all show up with piles and piles of notebooks, which is dude. I would love to do that. I would love to do for our draft day somehow to do like introduction videos to play on the stream as we bring people in.
See, my group's so like unorganized, but we also are all pretty dedicated that we just all have our phones, so we're drafting on there. But we did for our dynasty, we had a board up, so we filled in the board as we go, just as like a symbolism more thing. But we were still drafting on the phone because I didn't want someone to have to go through and add them all in later.
That year I was telling you about earlier where I dominated in that money league, I actually couldn't make it to our live mock draft where we, usually have all our notes. I was at work at the airline's third shift, call in. All right, it's my pick. Okay. Is such and such gone? Okay. Who was taking the last 5 picks? Okay. And just having to do it all over the phone too. And I still made a great team.
Shit. Wait, so I'm on this mock draft thing. Do I just click enter draft and then it'll basically start and I can pick?
Yeah, you'll hit I think you let me go back to the.
Oh yeah, we're good. I'm not trying to subscribe to anything.
Yeah. You hit select all teams so you can make every pick and then enter draft.
Okay.
And then
be like, 1 second, guys. Let me find my debit card. This will be easier.
And then you can hit start draft at the top right. I don't think there's any time limit.
Enter draft start. Okay, cool, perfect. Thank you.
I don't pay for it. I'm too broke.
This is a nice layout too, because then we can see those guys that are available. Okay, cool. I like that.
Yep.
Subscriptions are the reason I'm broke. Okay, I'm
man.
NFL Plus, The Athletic, Pro Football Focus, like literally any BS that they can sell me, I just buy it.
Dude, if it brings you joy and you're not,
they get you on those ads. They're also targeting you when they have those ads of like, ever find subscriptions you forgot you were paying for? That's Joe.
Yeah, they target me, but I'm like, no, I'll just go create a new debit card at BECU. I'm not stupid.
I love that. That's your hack for that.
Not like a crazy person. They always listening. Y'all talk about so much of the Niners, and I've been listening to y'all. Or not Niners, Warriors. Warrior stuff's been popping up on my feeds constantly.
Okay.
All right. Yep.
This
number one pick.
is the NFL 2023 NFL mock draft. The Carolina Panthers, aka Kyle Hill. You are on the clock.
I think this one's too obvious. It's got to be Bryce Young.
Yeah, I think so too.
I just don't think there's much of a discussion.
No,
it's just what it is.
This is where
Houston
things get
Texans?
weird.
Let me see. That's what AFC South.
Is that me again?
No, it's Bryant, AFC South.
Okay.
So does anyone really love CJ Stroud enough?
I'm gonna take him.
You gonna do Stroud?
Yeah, let's just get him out of the way.
Yeah, he's not even going to listen to them trade calls for CJ Stroud.
And I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think that them saying that they're open to trading that away or taking not a quarterback is all just a smokescreen. And I think it's they're going to. I really think they do.
I think they want Anthony Richardson. That's what I have in my mock draft I did earlier.
What'd you say, Kyle?
I was just going to say, my only question becomes, do you just let Mills sit behind if it doesn't, or do you try to move him, or what do you do there?
I think you let him sit behind. He's one of those guys that I think he proved that he's not the guy. And if they're sitting number 2 at the draft, then they can have the guy, if that makes sense.
I see him being a solid career backup,
Yeah, kind of like a Matt Shaw almost, something like that.
Maybe he'll do a little Geno Smith and thrive in his 30s, but we'll see.
Well, he wasn't even picked that high, I don't think. Can somebody look up where he was picked? I have no idea.
Yeah, I got it.
Who, Geno? I'm pretty sure he was a second-round pick.
No, Mills.
Oh.
Let's see. Mills was third round quarterback. Yeah, 67th overall. And 67th, third round. He was out of Stanford, right? Yeah, Stanford. Yep.
That's where the long necks usually come from.
What, him and fucking Andrew Luck?
No, he's got a neck beard. Anyways, with the third pick, the Arizona Cardinals select Will Anderson Jr. I think we're going to go there. I think that makes the most sense for them. They're just waiting on Kyler to come back. And it's God damn it, what division is this? Oh, Brian, AFC South
again. Yep.
Let's go Anthony Richards.
Oh, you're going Tony Richardson, huh?
Yeah, I'm just looking at what they have for their needs, and it says quarterback, so let's take him.
You don't think it'll be Levis?
It might be. I'm not sure exactly what all these guys' stocks are going up and down, but
it seems like Levis and Richardson have gone back and forth about 20 times since the combine. But it also seems like Anthony Richardson, you want him to go to a place like Vegas or somewhere that has a bridge quarterback to sit behind for a couple of years.
That's what's annoying is I feel like everyone's projecting Seattle because of that exact reason.
Yeah, but I don't think so. And with the 5th pick of this NFL draft, your Seattle Seahawks are taking Jalen Carter, defensive tackle, Georgia. I want to know specifically what Kyle thinks about this one.
I'm into it. He off the field issues aren't dominates really is at the end of the day. He just dominates people. We need tackle help. We need help inside, and I think we can get some edge help later in the draft. We also got why am I spaced on his name? The Broncos guy.
Draymond Jones.
Yeah, Draymond, easily flex him to the outside. I think he can be a little bit of a hybrid. But I'm into the pick. I like it. For once, we can not trade back, please, and just take some serious talent and hope the off the field is over with.
Well, honestly, though, Kyle, I think so say the Texans aren't bullshitting and they take Will Anderson, right? And Arizona takes
Carter.
Then
I'm okay with trading back.
I'm okay with trading back just because the tape, like the off the field issues Pete Carroll can work with. And I know you guys have heard me say it 1,000 times on this stream. I can deal with the off the field issues because Pete Carroll is who Pete Carroll is. And we've seen it with Marshawn Lynch. We've seen it with Frank Clark. We've seen it with so many guys. If you want to play football, or if you somewhat want to play football, Pete Carroll will drive you to be that guy. And I think Jalen Carter, just the tape alone, makes me want to take him.
Yeah, I think if Carter's not there, I think if Anderson and Carter are both gone, I'm fine with trading back because there's definitely a drop off. There's a drop off in our needs at this spot if those guys are gone.
I don't like Tyree Wilson as much as some other people do. Just looking at the tape, it seems like he got more coverage sacks than he did like where Carter and Anderson were there before the quarterback could throw the football.
And Wilson, Tyree's been getting a lot of hype lately. I've seen him moving up in boards, and I just don't understand it. I haven't watched him that much, but
pro comparisons, Chandler Jones, he's got freaky long arms and stuff like that. So his ability to keep like tackles, his ability to bend an edge and keep tackles off of his chest basically is it's pretty enticing. But Anderson's safe.
Just the tape alone, because you know me, Levi and Bryant, by now, I'm not a huge combine guy. I'm a huge like tape guy, and when I watch Will Anderson and I watch Jalen Carter, I'm like, holy shit, dude! These guys are studs going against SEC talent. Just dominating.
I'm in agreement with her. It's a no brainer for me on that.
Okay, sorry for wasting everybody's time. I have the NFC North. I got the Detroit Lions, and a lot of people are saying Devin Witherspoon here, but I'm gonna go Christian Gonzalez.
Ooh, okay.
I'm into that.
Part of me feels like with Christian Gonzalez, it's almost like the Sauce and to a lesser extent the Sauce and Stingley last year, where you thought Sauce was going to be first, but Stingley goes first, and I think that's how it's going to be with Christian Gonzalez.
Singletary. Yeah, I've heard Christian Gonzalez is more of a straight man coverage guy, which I don't know if the Lions really run like a lot of man coverage or if they're more of a zone team. I think that's the reason why Witherspoon might be make more sense for the scheme.
I don't know. That's my pick.
I like it though. I like it. You can't really be mad with it. He's an elite level.
This is mock draft 3.0. Anything goes. All right.
That's for sure. All right, who's up? Raiders.
Kyle.
The Raiders are a weird one because
the ghost of Al Davis comes back every year.
Also, are you going to be fast and 40
was thinking they might trade up originally if they, don't want that gap, but I don't really know where to go here.
I had them in my mock draft trading up for Stroud.
That's the thing. I do see them coming up, so I don't. Seven's a weird. I mean,
Richardson's still on the. Oh no, Richardson's not on the board. Levis is still on the board.
Richardson went where?
4, but Levis is still on the board. He's the only other top quarterback left.
I just don't. I don't know if I'm not that into him either. I'm thinking
he's a hard eval.
I don't know, man. I really don't know how I feel here.
O-line, D-line, DB. Yeah, kind of go any direction here.
I feel like at this point, some people might reach a little for Nolan Smith just because of his huge combine. But as I'm not super, I'm combine. Think about it, but
gives me a reason to watch tape. Is what it tells me.
Exactly. I don't know, guys. This is tough.
It's a mock draft, Kyle. It's not the end of the world.
Let me see here.
Dude, I'm gonna have him taking Levis then. I have him taking a quarterback earlier, trading up, but I just think it's a need for them.
Yeah, for real. And I think if Richardson's on the board for the Raiders, I think they don't even think about it. I think they take Richardson because that seems like such a Raiders thing to do.
It's more hype, it's that gut feeling based of he's going to be something. So that's why if Richardson was here, I think that'd be easy for me. Levis is a little tough, but I think it makes the most sense.
And I could see those picks being swapped too. I could see, I could really see Levis going to Indy, and I could see Richardson going to Vegas.
I'm going to show you all my mock after. I got it pulled up on a PowerPoint for after as well as some comparisons.
Oh, yeah. Kyle up again, NFC South.
South, yep.
Oh, my bad. I was over there updating my own PFF thing, trying to keep pace, but it's not going well. This becomes tough again too. because I think that they are one of the most quarterback needy. I don't think that Ritter's the answer either. But I could see them taking. No, go back up. Where are you going?
Yeah.
I'm going Nolan Smith here.
Okay.
Nolan Smith. Is Tyree Wilson still
That's
on
who
the board?
I have. That's who I've got him taken in my draft right now. Tyree's still on the board.
That's who I was looking for. I was like, dude, but yeah, no, I've seen Nolan Smith climbing just within the last week because I've seen him available for the Seahawks at 20, like this whole draft process. And then like,
the weight scares you. The tape's there though, but the weight and everything, the measurables are a little scary.
He was in that 250 range, right? Like 6'4", 250.
I think he's like 238. Let me double check here.
I think he's 6'2". We can actually go like
6'3", 236.
Check this out here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot you.
First
you
look,
click on him there.
6'2", 238. Levi.
Close.
Close. Yeah, I don't know. The height scares me a little bit, but I think if he's there at 20, once again, I always talk about my Hawks, but I think if he's there at 20 and we get Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, that's a win-win. But I have the NFC North, so I will be taking Devin Witherspoon. I think he's still on the board. It's a need for them at defensive back. So I think that's kind of a no-brainer.
Another thing about Nolan Smith is he played 14 games 2021, only played 8 in 2022. So he played a lot less snaps, only had 2 sacks in 2022 as well. So as an edge player, that's a little scary. That's like Oweh for the Ravens, had no sacks his final year in college.
What defense does Atlanta run? Do you know? Anyone know?
They used to run 4-3, but I'm not positive.
Because Nolan Smith makes sense in a 3-4 personally, but.
Well, you can find those guys too to just kind of be an outside linebacker, just like a 3-4, right? But yeah, no, it makes Yep.
Are you committed there, Joe? Are you going Witherspoon?
Yeah, I'm going Devin Witherspoon here, and I think if Gonzalez is taken first, or if Gonzalez is taken second, NFC
I see the Bears doing it, but real quick, I do think Peter Skoronski is a really good pick for them there because I mean I know. Their quarterback runs all over the damn place, and that contributes to sacks. But he was tied for the most sacked quarterback last year, so like there is a need, but I don't think they do it.
I've got Paris Johnson rated higher than Skoronski, even though like technically, they're Skoronski on PFF's rated higher. I have the Bears taking Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State at number 9 as well because I agree.
Yeah, I guess it's more of a comment of lineman makes sense. I guess it's a toss-up for those guys, but linemen just make sense, and the Bears won't do it because it makes too much sense.
You're not wrong, though.
That's the Bears. Hey, Bryant, you're up with the NFC East. You got the Eagles. Their needs are wide receiver, guard, center, D-line, and safety. Wow.
So I pulled up a website on my phone too that I'm kind of working off of as well, and I'm kind of compelled to take their pick. Their pick is Bijan Robinson, but I have 2 people that are influencing me on this as well. So I know it's not up there on their position of needs, but shout out Little Sponge with the Philadelphia Eagles first round pick and David McNiner. The Eagles are selecting Jake Moody.
What?
Fuck off. Brian, we're not doing this. Brian, you got to make an actual pick here.
Bijan Robinson.
Robinson. I have seen it.
Hey, but if Little Sponge was here, he would be taking Nick Moody. Jake Moody.
Who's Little Sponge?
He's
Sponge. He's my boy.
He's his boy. He's everyone's boy.
With a name like Little Sponge, that's got to be your boy,
Okay, now we have the AFC South, which is Bryant again.
Okay, AFC South again.
And all my team picks are late.
God, I think these tackles stay on the board, especially after losing a lot.
Can you switch it to wide receiver for me?
Yeah, we got Njiba available.
He means click the position group.
What the hell did you just call him?
Njiba the whole time.
Nah, it's just funny.
Okay, for right now, let's just take the top guy. I'm gonna I'm looking for a different name, but he's not right there now. He probably is not going first or second. So let's just take him.
Who are you looking for?
I like Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights.
Yeah, he's cool. He will sell jerseys.
Brian, you're back on the block.
Team's doing well, so he's over here just helping. We're selling jerseys now, huh?
Okay, so now I have the Texans.
Yeah, you're back on the clock.
The Texans need his quarterback. We already took a quarterback, wide receiver, center. Can you go to center for me?
Yeah, I don't think there's any day 1 graded centers. I think that's going to be a day 2 thing.
Then rock to DL. Go to DL.
D-line.
God,
These top 4 are really the guys you're going to be looking at. I think Keanu Benton's a sleeper, right? Am I right, Levi? Levi's my prospect guy. So Keanu
Benton, he's decent. Like I haven't really seen a lot on him. I was actually going back to my draft notes right now, to be honest.
I'm gonna take the guy from Wisconsin.
Keanu Benton.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me. I've been seeing his name all over the place lately.
Interesting.
So next up, we got the Packers. I don't think this one's tough, guys.
Oh, this isn't though.
You don't think so?
They didn't address a big need in free agency. What's a quarterback's best friend?
A left tackle.
Well, actually, you are right on that. A left tackle should be your best friend. They got no tight ends, man. None.
I don't think they take one in the first round.
I think after those first 2, it's going to be a little bit of a drop off. But it is deep. It's actually considered a +1 margin in the draft. So good luck.
Yeah, because you got
Niner fans, actually.
You have Kincaid, Sam Laporta.
There's only 2 first-round tight ends. Kincaid and Mayer.
This just feels too early.
Yeah, it does feel too early. That's why I don't want.
I've got Green Bay as one. I've got like 5 teams as teams with really high potential to trade down, depending on how the draft board, and they're one of my teams.
Levi, who's playing left tackle for the Packers right now?
Oh, they have a franchise left tackle, actually. Hold on, let me double check it here.
Oh, Bakhtiari?
Yeah, Bakhtiari is their left tackle.
So they take Skoronski and put him at right tackle.
They've got a guy named Josh Nijman, though, was a restricted free agent. He played better than Bakhtiari last year when he filled in for him. So he's their starting right tackle. So they've got solid bookend tackles. When I looked at their roster, I actually addressed interior offensive line, which, again, I feel like it's too early to draft.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like guard and center. I'll go Brian Branch. How about that? They need a safety.
I'm trying to look at my trade up targets.
Branch is I think he's just going to be solid. I don't think he's going to be flashy big play. His measurables aren't great. He's not the fastest, but I think he has some of the best, eyes and just actual football IQ out of any of the DBs.
Kind of like a McCourty, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, teams I'm looking to trade up at the end of this first round are going to be Vikings, Bills, and Dallas. I just got a feeling they're going to be looking to come up. I think Green Bay might be one of those shots potentially for one of those teams.
As long as we can all agree, fuck the Cowboys, right?
Fuck the Cowboys.
Wouldn't it be funny if
that's me, AFC East.
So say the Jets really need a tackle, right? They like one of these 2 guys. Say the board falls exactly.
The Patriots are in love with this pick, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
Peter Skoronski, tackle out of Northwestern. They are absolutely in love that the number 1 tackle is available at pick 14. And he's kind of an undersized small school guy, which Bill Belichick loves here at the AFC.
I mean, I guess at tackle he's a little undersized, but he's still 6'4", 330.
Oh yeah, he's just a little smaller than Paris Johnson, but he's so good technique wise. With that being said, actually pick number 15 here in the AFC East. Jets are on the clock. We're going to protect Aaron Rodgers at all costs. We're also taking Paris Johnson Jr. off the board at 15, back-to-back tackles.
What I was saying, guys, is okay. So imagine the draft falls exactly how it is, right? And the Packers, they're kind of like us. They're like, who do we take at 13? And the Jets are like, oh, shoot, we should trade up to 13. So if they trade for 13 back for something else.
That'd be hilarious.
Even though they just traded away today, that would be funny. Who has the NFC East? Ryan.
Yeah,
You're up. The quarterback, guard,
Washington
center,
Commanders.
linebacker.
Trying to see who I
Tough
got.
spot.
Washington. Oh, yeah. He's already off the board in this draft.
what's the centers look like? I know you said there's not really good centers in the draft right now, but
There's John Michael Schmidt and let me look.
Yeah, ranked 35th overall on the board, so just out of first round. But,
And I think Joe Tippmann is actually ranked above Luke Weipler, if I'm not mistaken.
let's go ahead and go with John Michael Schmidt. His name is my name too, or sounds pretty clever.
I mean, that's what the Redskins do anyway.
I actually don't hate that pick. I really don't.
No. He's the first true center on the board.
Well, he's one of those guys that I feel like could actually go in the first round. I just feel like nobody wants to draft a center in the first round.
You got to be sure. So of course we took Tyler Lindenbaum first round last year, picked 25 or 24 with the trade with Arizona for Marquise Brown. And they said, you don't take centers usually first round unless you think they're going to be franchise guys. And they said he was the best center coming out in like 10 years. But I mean, it could happen because, like I said, he is the number one true interior center on the board by far.
Do you guys ever feel like certain positions, like it's kind of hard to, I guess, verbalize, but when you don't have that true, like real number one, guy at that position, it kind of gets washed out and people just expect like, oh, they're all average, but maybe they're all pretty good. It's just, or, the first three are pretty good. It's just that none of them are that much better than each other. So I think, I'm not saying these guys in particular, but I think certain positions you can get a lot of value out of. It's just that one, it's center, it's a position that's not super sought after. And two, you get a few guys that are pretty similar in talent and they kind of get washed out into that late first, early second round, kind of area, or even mid-second.
Yeah. No, that
I think
sense.
too for guards too. Guards have been undervalued in the NFL because you can kind of get anyone that's around 300, 320 and plug them in there because they have help on both sides. Tackles, of course, you're vulnerable. You're put on the exterior. And centers, you got to be specialized. You got to snap the ball. And if you can't snap the ball to your quarterback, as we saw with the Ravens here for like a few years, if you got snap issues, you will lose games over snap issues.
Hey, let me ask you guys a real quick question. Like in high school, right? The center, isn't the center the long snapper?
Not always, but usually.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they usually work
time it's like there's going to be like an 80% chance that the long snapper is the center unless somebody's like
in the
it.
NFL, they do it like weirdly different because there's rules to protect. Like you can't line up over a center in the NFL, or I mean, you're not.
Yeah,
supposed
you don't
to
have to be able to block for shit in the NFL as a long snapper.
Yeah, you just got to be able to hike it.
We see guys that are 5'10" and 200 pounds long snapping with the best of them. So.
Yep. Baltimore's had our 3-0 for years.
Ryan from No Border Sports was telling me there was some guy, he said that, I forget, he plays on an NFL team, but he goes, there's this one guy in high school, he goes, you know what, I'm going to be a long snapper. And that's all he practiced, day in, day out. He's like, I'm going to be a long snapper. Right?
Pepper.
Is that who it is?
Yeah. His dad got him into it.
Yeah, and then that's all I did, right? Because if you think about it, like you guys said, you don't really have to block. You're not allowed to line up. As long as you don't even put your head up, they can't touch you. So,
well, and anyways, I mean, looking back, I'm like, especially with, concussion issues and shit, at the time it wasn't cool to be like, oh, I want to be a kicker, punter, or long snapper. But I mean, fuck, what's Michael Dixon for us, as a punter, he's fantastic, but he's the highest paid punter in the NFL, making a few $1 million a year. And I'm like, dude, pay me $500K a year to fucking be on an NFL team.
Y'all think I'm joking, man? I'm testing on my legacy if I can still kick. Like I ain't joking.
No,
I ain't joking. I punted 40 yards with 3.5 seconds of hang time the other day.
Listen, nice. Destroying's not in the league. Levi,
I know he's not for a reason. I know he's not.
Hey Joe, what is it? Ben Nizer from our high school that like the dude can punt. But that's all I don't think he really ever played football. He literally just pays for like punt training. And he's tried out for the XFL. He had some buddies that made it. He didn't. But I'm like, maybe it'll work at some point. But at some point too, when do you give up on that? The kid's got to be like 23, 24. I love a great kid, but I'm like, at some point, you're probably spending a lot of money to train with professionals to be a punter.
And also, shout out his parents. They used to take me to the Thunderbirds game all the time and take me into the suites. So shout out Ben Eisner's parents. I know you're not watching right now, but if you ever see this, Ben, maybe I'll send it to you tonight on Instagram.
Good kid.
Yeah, gated community family. Really, really nice family.
That probably makes punting training a little bit more in the budget, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, pause on this. Yep. Bryant, what is going on with your guy from your hometown in Stockton, California, and why is he wanted by the police?
What guy? I gotta look it up. Is it news today?
Yeah, Nate Diaz.
Oh, Nate Diaz.
Oh, I know. Oh, go ahead.
Well, if you got the information on it, but Nate Diaz, he has two. They're brothers, and they both wrestle, and I think they're MMA fighters.
Yeah, UFC guys. They're awesome.
Yeah, they're really big, but I don't know what's going on with them, so I'd have to look into it today.
I got a little insight on that. I mean, I'm not from Stockton, California, but basically there was some beef, and then so one of Nate Diaz's previous training buddies had a fight, and there was some beef during the fight. Nate Diaz turned around and like chucked a drink or a water bottle at one of the other camp's guys. It was one of those things where your typical hold me back, bro type of thing, even though Nate Diaz he's that type of dog. Like, he'll rip your head off, but the other guy, I can't imagine he wanted any of that. And I think it spilled out into the streets a little bit. There was also a Logan Paul lookalike that actually has been in like some Logan Paul videos and stuff. And that guy was a part of the opposite camp or friends with them or something. And basically Nate Diaz and the other guy, they got into it a little bit. It seemed like people broke it up. Well, then this guy started chirping at Nate Diaz. I can't guarantee this is why he's wanted or anything, but I know Nate Diaz, it looked like he knocked him out cold in the video. So at the end of the day, if someone's chirping at you and you
wait, was that actually Logan Paul? No, it wasn't a Logan Paul.
No,
right?
It was a lookalike. It was funny because I actually saw a video.
I saw that video
of like Dana White sitting with someone playing poker, and the guy was like, "Dude, that's Logan," and then he's like, "Oh wait, that's not Logan," but they look very similar. But yeah, guy got knocked out cold. It looked like on the street. Nate Diaz, took off, whatever. But you know how it goes. People want the smoke until they get knocked out by Nate Diaz because they're not.
Nate UFC Diaz fighter. Is a boss. Dude.
Everybody's a badass till they get punched in the face.
I ain't chirping at Nate Diaz. That dude rock me.
No, it's one of those ones. I tell people I ain't scared of nobody, but I ain't gonna go pick that fight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm afraid of Nate Diaz. I'm not kidding you because he won't knock you out. He will punch you in the face, and it will hurt. Like
I grew up with an actual psychopath, like an actual fucking psychopath.
He's awesome.
Dude, you literally look at me, he's gonna tell me he's gonna slit my throat while I was sleeping.
I think that's
right, guys. Sorry for getting so off topic.
No, I think you nailed it though. I think it was the fight. That's what I'm pulling up on my phone right now. So
yeah, and believe me, I'm no news outlet, but I think it was on like those Snapchat live things. I saw some shit about it, like probably around 3 p.m. today.
Levi, your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Sorry.
Your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, this is easy though. Joey Porter Jr. wants to go there. Penn State. His father played for the Steelers. It's destiny that it works out. Easy.
That guy's got the best measurables out of the top 5 corners, right? I mean, he's a little skinny. Good. I think he's like 198, but he's like 6'3", 6'4", isn't he?
Let's double check.
Being a Seahawks fan, we like those long, lengthy corners.
6'2", 193.
Okay,
but a very strong man coverage guy. Very strong.
Yeah, I guess he struggled a lot in zone, and that's why he went from like possibly being a top 10 to kind of dropping now.
I actually watched some film on him a few hours ago, just looking at corner prospects, and I wasn't a huge fan, but as I said, he's got some measurables, he's got some speed, so make a tournament or something maybe. But yeah, he seemed to get lost a little bit, like just a little late. Looked a little like jittery in coverage to me. Slightly like playing a game of catch up a little bit, but NFL coaches can do something with that.
Might not have that short term burst, kind of, especially if he had to play the slot.
Yeah, almost like he's chopping it. He's keeping his feet moving, but almost in like it looks like squirrely a little bit to me, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'll
have to keep
so I got
especially if he does end up with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I got the Lions here, and Honestly, I didn't have him taking wide receiver originally until Jameson Williams got suspended for what, 6 games? Is that what it was?
Something like that, yeah. He's gone for a
Yep.
little bit.
I think they'll go receiver, and I think they'll go that guy from TCU. What's his name?
Quentin Johnson.
Sorry,
yeah,
not
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yep.
Yeah, Quentin
Like
Johnson.
6'3".
I think. And he's not Jameson Williams, right? So even when Jameson Williams comes back, they'll have something to complement.
Yeah, I've actually even got them on mine taking Quentin Johnson, number 18. I think they want to really take that offense even further.
Kyle, you have the Buccaneers.
This one just kind of makes sense for Kincaid. Personally, I like Osiris Johnson from Florida.
Torrance.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Seems like he's been slipping lately in the draft.
He has, and I don't know that I know why. Is why I'm not going here. Maybe it's a reach of something I'm not paying attention to, but I'm gonna go Kincaid here. I think tight end's important, and that he's definitely the best pass catching tight end there is out of this draft. So I think that's important. Add a weapon on the inside.
Him and Otten on the same, running 2 tight end sets. I think Otten's awesome. Well, obviously I do because he's a UW guy, but yeah. We got the Seahawks here at number 20, and I want to consult with Kyle here on if he thinks Miles Murphy is a good pick for us because we got Jalen
I think
Carter.
If Murphy's here at 20, I am all about that. We already got D tackle. Get another
that's
edge
what I
guy.
told you last week.
Dude, and the thing is, you get that, you pair that with, we don't have a lot right now, but we have a couple pieces. And we just went from one of the worst D lines in the NFL to one of the best if these guys pan out.
Terrifying.
Yeah, and that's I wouldn't even mind
that like the 49ers, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Kancey here, but
you're a big Kancey guy, and I agree. But we went we went Carter, so
yeah, let's go Miles Murphy. Pairing him with Darrell Taylor and Shannon Nwosu, I think that's a great combo. Kyle, you got AFC West again.
Where are we at now? Dolphins.
Chargers.
Tampa
talked to Brady. Remember they had to forfeit their first round pick?
Oh, but in this it's still there, huh?
It's forfeited, but yeah, we just skipped over him.
Bullshit. Give me my pick back.
You didn't even have them, Kyle.
I'm just fucking around.
That would have been Levi. You got the Chargers.
Oh. I like Addison here. I actually think Addison I like a little bit better than Johnson, wide receiver wise. Wait, did Flowers go already?
No, he's still there.
Oh, never mind then. I want Flowers here.
Okay. And yeah, because Keenan Allen's about to, I don't know how much longer he's going to play, right? So
he just keeps on keeping on. Like when he's healthy, he's still very good, but we'll see how that goes. Also, it'll be interesting to see what they do with Eckler, if he gets traded out. But yeah, I think wide receivers, that's the biggest need they have, especially depending on what happens with Keenan Allen. So we'll see.
Next, we got Levi with his Baltimore Ravens. This is the most important selection of your life because nothing has happened with Lamar yet. So do you want me to just go ahead and draft Stetson Bennett right here?
I think Stetson Bennett is going to be probably like our somewhere between 4th and 6th round pick. He even called Todd Monken like his father figure. And I think it's just in the stars. However, of course, I could see Baltimore trading out of the first round here. We only have 5 picks total this year. That ties our lowest. We've only had 6 or less picks since 2 times since 1996. So this is like a record low. We need more picks. However, I'm going to keep it clean here. We're taking our boy Deontay Banks from Maryland. We're keeping him in-house this time, like we wish we would have done with DJ Moore.
He is the cornerback, right?
Cornerback out of Maryland. blew up the combine.
Oh, he's right
has
there.
good
Sorry,
tape.
his picture just wasn't on there.
His tape against Ohio State's actually pretty good.
All right, I got the Vikings, and the Vikings are the most like meh team. You know, you're kind of like, what do they really need, right?
They always show up.
What?
They always just they win games. They do decent. You know,
At 10 a.m. Pacific time, yeah, they win games.
You're up for those. Don't even pretend like you don't watch them.
No, I watch all of them. But
I'm gonna grab a drink, guys. I'll be right back.
But Kirk Cousins, I was like, dog, like they always joked about him only winning at 10 a.m. right at the 10 a.m. games, and then you watch it and you're like, oh my god, it's true. How is this legit? Like he could not perform if it's not 10 a.m. So.
With Levi, Levi was saying this is, I guess, going backwards a little bit, but Levi was saying Baltimore trade. I think that would be a good opportunity for the Bills to come up to that spot to take a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I'm not on the Gabe Davis train like a lot of people are, but Diggs is Diggs. He's getting older. But Levi, I was just saying that I could see the Bills trading up to that spot with Baltimore at 22.
Yeah, like I said, Buffalo, Minnesota, and Dallas are all on my eyes to keep an eye on trading up. While Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, New England, Seattle, and Baltimore at between 10 and 22 are on my. I'm like, wow, waiting to. Yeah. I even did number values to kind of figure it all out too. What the predictions might be.
I can't see Kalijah Kancey staying on the board this long, and that's a need for them. So I could see him going here.
That's huge, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Bryant, you have the Jacksonville Jaguars. They need guard, center, edge, and defensive back.
Can you bring up edge?
Yeah, I think they're still quite good guys. But Van Ness,
this is
how is Tyree Wilson still on the board?
Oh, how we forgot about him.
Oh my god.
Case in point, someone trading up right there. Someone's trading up for Tyree Wilson in this draft. 100%. Like Dallas. Dallas would in a heartbeat.
Well, it's like, dude, how is he still on the board?
It's just because of need. I mean, they have him as the 28th player, but people that need edge need it early. You know, he's the next best edge. So.
And this is something I've mentioned to Joe. I have these margins. I'll show them later. Basically, 2015 through 2022 draft class compared against the 2023 draft class. Edge is a +5 margin. This is one of the most deepest drafts in edge we've seen in a long time.
Let's take Wilson.
Yeah, I think that's smart because I remember at the 10th pick, I was like, oh, where's Tyree Wilson on this thing? I think I just forgot about him.
That's the tough part with this PFF is it showing you those top guys as opposed to position. Like it's a little out there, you know.
Is it linebacker after center for the divisional needs? The position needs for
wide receiver, center, linebacker, and I could
go to linebacker for me.
They don't have any receiver.
Can I make a quick statement here? Is Jaguars, Tyree, obviously, if he's there, that's a fucking no-brainer. But I could also see them going tight end, even though it's not a need. But I found out earlier today they're paying Evan Ingram. He's on like $11 million this year. And this is his last year.
They tagged him. Yeah, they tagged him is what it is.
Exactly. So easily last year, transition into that new guy. Like, by no means, Bryant, that's a no-brainer for Tyree. But I see tight end as a pretty cool pick for the Jags if either of those top two guys are available.
Let's go and flip to wide receiver real quick for the Giants because they do need a wide receiver. I'm thinking they might.
Bang.
Yeah.
Can you roll it down a little bit for me?
Yeah, you're the one that put that trade in my head, Bryant. Like if the wide receivers run early, they're gonna be calling the Niners about Ayuk. I think you are very smart on that when you made that one up.
Well, it's not a fan favorite, you know, and a lot of people hate the
That's why I appreciate you for it. Trust me, I get a lot of hate from Raven fans.
I'm just trying to think legitimately, if you're going to trade somebody, you don't want to trade Trey Lance. You don't want to trade, who else can you trade, right? So there's Elijah Mitchell and then there's, Ayuk and I don't know. But for this one right here, let's go with the volunteer. Let's go with Tennessee. Jalen Hyatt.
We're letting Jordan Addison sit. We're sleeping.
I think I've heard a lot of the good things about
I could have seen him going to Minnesota to replace Thielen too.
And the thing go ahead, guys.
Oh, I was going to say Hyatt's a more NFL sized, right? Because this is a very undersized wide receiver draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The thing with Hyatt, the criticism I've heard is that he's he's only 6 foot. I thought he was bigger than that. He's 6 foot 176.
Me too.
So
Never
the
mind,
thing I've
ignore what I
heard,
just said.
he can take the top off of any defense in the NFL, like his speed. However, the critique is at Tennessee, he basically ran nothing but seams, and literally half the time, and I watched some of the tape because I was watching Hendon Hooker's tape. They just leave him open. They run 4 seams. He runs a seam from the slot, and just no one covers him. And they're like, well, it's not. They literally said on tape, well, it's not our fault they don't cover him.
How big is Richie
Can
James?
I say this? Are all of us in agreement that Hendon Hooker is underrated?
Agreed.
No, I think he's been overrated lately. Like as far as his.
Maybe I haven't seen the hype. Maybe I haven't heard about it much. But I think, I mean, God, I would love to get that guy second round as like someone to learn a little bit.
Well, as far as the draft projections go, I think he's overrated because of his ACL injury, and certain people have them going at 5 to us. Or like
it's quarterback ACL. That doesn't worry me like a running back ACL or something.
No, but he's not going to be able to play next year. He's not.
Fair. Perfect for Seattle, baby.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I want him so bad. God damn it, Bryant. You're the NFC East. You're the Cowboys.
LA Rams sitting at 36 staring at Hooker. Just saying.
And they need a wide receiver too?
Or no, not the Rams. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Rams.
No, they need a running back D-line, but it wouldn't shock me if they went Jordan Addison here.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Because that sounds like a Jerry Jones move.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me.
I will admit, though, I have heard – I like the pick. I would take the pick. However, I will know when I was reading about this earlier, supposedly because they went and got Brandon Cook. I've heard they're really happy, actually, with just adding him. But I don't know how true that is. That could be a smokescreen.
Are we forgetting, too? I mean, this, again, Jordan Addison by far, if he's there. But, you know, they don't have Schultz anymore. Michael Mayer's right there for tight end. And I think Schultz was.
I actually did forget about that.
Let's see here.
Well, believe me, I have him on my fantasy team for Schultz, and him going to Houston wasn't my favorite thing in the world. But Michael Mayer, I think, would be a nice replacement.
This draft board, the amount of tackle talent, Lucas Van Ness is still on the board. Like
that's a crazy one. I think he'll be gone by then. I don't know why I took Miles Murphy instead of Van Ness.
They're still, between Darnell Wright, Anton Harrison, and Broderick Jones, there's 3 left tackles, and Dawan Jones, which could play left tackle or right tackle. Like 4 first-round tackles still on the board here. But the Bills don't really need tackle.
They do you saw how Josh Allen was running around for his life.
No. I've done the research. That's the interior line. And they've done a little retooling there. And I'm staring at Osiris Torres, and I think that's going to be the pick here. I think my boy Chimera would agree with me, but man, all right. So I'm staring at Emmanuel Forbes, Lucas Van Ness, and Osiris Torres on this board right now. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to think if any of these other tackles could slide to a guard as well. But
I think most of them could. I really do. I think tackle, if you can play tackle, you can play guard. I don't think if you can play guard, you can play tackle, though.
It's a little, kind of like Darnell. Oh, this is tough. Sorry. Just look over this board one more time. I need corner. I think I'm going to stick with my original pick here for my mock draft. I'm taking Emmanuel Forbes off the board here from Mississippi State, the cornerback.
No,
I think he can play a little bit of everything, and I think they're ecstatic, and they need a secondary rehaul.
Now you're back on the Bengals, and I think here one of the tackles would have made sense if.
What's hilarious is my guy's still on the board here too. Sorry,
if they didn't take what's his name.
Mm-hmm. There's actually a huge hold on the Bengals after Hayden Hurst left. They wanted to keep him. He left. And my original pick in my mock draft is still number 1 on the board, and that's Michael Mayer, the tight end from Notre Dame. Basically coming in. They have a history of drafting from Notre Dame. They, I'm trying to remember who was their last. Sorry, I'm going to have to look that up. But, yeah, tight end from Notre Dame on the board.
That's fine. Wait for Kyle for a second here.
Yep. I'm looking.
Oh, how's everybody in the chat? Sorry, I haven't even looked. What's up, Ryan? No Border Sports. What's going on, Corey? Nice to see you guys here. Also, yes, Bryant, you are correct. Shout out Little Sponge. He's our guy.
Tyler Eifert was who I was remembering. In 2013, they took Notre Dame, Tyler Eifert first round. So I see repeat.
Mm-hmm.
How much have we been missing in the chat?
Just a couple people. We've had some people pop in and out. Jess from East Coast Red and Gold was here. Ryan, David McNiner was here. Steve-O's been bouncing back and forth. Corey just jumped in. So
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised Corona hasn't hopped in and been like, "Hey, where's the link, guys?" Bryant,
I'm just trying to be nicer because I don't know if I was too rude last time I was on with him on my show. I just don't want some of the stuff being viewed on my show. I think it's funny, just not that early in the morning.
No.
I kind of felt like I was a little harsh on him, and since then he's been a lot more politer. So shout out,
Brian. I think David Corona is a Friday night calling kind of guy. He is not a Saturday or Sunday morning coffee talk kind of guy. When you start bringing out the toenail clippings and the frozen pea cup, that is a Friday night kind of thing.
Shout out to Gunny if you're still there, by the way.
Kyle, you should have been a part of it. You would have laughed your ass off. We had rap battles going on. We had frozen pea cups going on.
Was this the one you sent me some clips of?
Yes. Yeah.
I had to watch that video about 5 times. So
yeah.
I'm laughing just thinking about it.
Anyways, yeah, that's our guys. That's our little crew we roll around with. So Kyle, you're up with the NFC South, and I think it would be before you pick. Mm-hmm. I just want to mention that this pick was originally the 49ers, and then it got traded to Miami, and then it got traded to Denver, and now it's the Saints. So I'd really like to see it traded one more time.
All righty, and the Saints trade back.
This is Hendon Hooker. This is where Hendon Hooker probably comes off the board.
No, he doesn't.
Yep, this is where Hendon Hooker
comes off the board. No, he does not. He is not that type of talent, Levi.
And he sits behind Derek Carr for 1 year because Derek Carr's contract is really a 1 year deal.
Let Kyle make his pick.
Is he in one of those get out after 1 year? I know it's big money, but I didn't look at the structure.
Most of them are, I think.
Levi, let Kyle make his pick. Okay.
Sorry. It ain't Hendon Hooker. It ain't Hendon Hooker. I'll tell you that much. I think Luke Van Ness is just too much value here.
Oh yeah, the fact that he's still on the board, absolutely. Like
that's when you pick. I mean, that is a slight need. Obviously, I mean you're looking at number 3 on D line, but that's picking. You're picking players versus need at that point. You're picking value. So Luke Van Ness is too good to go at 29.
Rumor on Luke Van Ness. I've heard he won't get past Eagles at 10.
I think that's rumor. Smoke. I think they're blowing smoke. I don't think he's 10. But I think
I'll give you credit though. I'll give a slight. I think it is part smoke, but because
I'd say I put him at like the 14 to 18 range.
He reminds me of Ryan Kerrigan.
Hey Brian,
I fuck with Ryan Kerrigan. I don't know why this is really random, but in Madden he was one of my favorite dudes to play with. For some reason he wasn't ever ranked very good, but he was a dog.
I feel you on that. Yep, I agree.
Well, Kyle knows the team formerly known as the Redskins were my team to play with, and then once they changed,
Josh Norman, that bucktooth bitch.
Yo, CCU. Chanticleer, shout out,
Bryant. God damn it, Bryant. It is your turn.
All right. So with the Eagles, I think it would be safe to take a safety at this time. So if you could bring up the safeties.
Yeah, I think there's one Bama guy.
Let's take the Bama man.
Never mind. He's not rated.
Wait, were you thinking of Branch Joe, who already went?
No, I thought Battle was rated higher than he was.
Oh no!
Oh wow! No. That's a what? That's 3rd round pick right there.
Let me see. I've actually all right here. I got help with you. I got help with you on this one. Cam Smith, the cornerback out of USC, he actually plays a lot of slot corner / safety, which was Chauncey Gardner formerly with the Eagles. So I think that I'm telling you, I think that's a good pick there for the Eagles.
Let's take Cam Smith.
Levi,
I'm sorry.
Quit calling South Carolina USC. It really
yeah.
confuses the shit out of everybody here that's from
Oh,
the
okay.
I
was
know
about
y'all
to
are all
ask.
West
I'm like,
Coast.
Yeah, when you say USC, I'm thinking Trojan.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
Pete
Yeah,
Carroll.
sorry.
I think everyone's thinking Trojan. This guy's just a little different.
And see, I even though I'm a Ravens fan, I grew up, guys, in South Carolina in Myrtle Beach, which is like a tourist trap, just like an hour south of Columbia, where USC is.
I heard recently Myrtle Beach is actually ghetto as fuck.
It is. It's always been ghetto. Don't let anyone fool you.
So Kyle and Bryant, we were talking here one Monday,
haven't
right?
joked.
And Bryant was probably in the stream. And he goes, "Oh yeah, that guy from USC." Or it was Jadeveon Clowney. He's like, "Yeah, when Jadeveon Clowney came out of USC," and I was like, "What is this guy
Hype.
smoking?" He did not go to USC, but he was talking University
He's
of
smoking
South
that
Carolina.
Gamecock.
Yeah,
Funny
I was
fact
like,
too, by the way, guys. The
I
Shauna
was like,
Clears
what?
is basically the USC. Like it's the same thing.
Hard pass.
Question before we get to the 31st pick, are you guys down to do a second round? Because
I
I'm
would
down.
love to.
Anybody?
Sure. Sounds
I
fun.
want to, but I also want to eat dinner. But I'll keep rolling here for a minute.
Do both.
You can always
Screw
eat
it.
and mute your mic, Kyle.
That's facts.
That's probably what I'm going to do here in a minute
Screw
too.
the family.
For the
Anyways, stream, no, I'm
we
just kidding.
have-
I'm totally kidding. Family.
We have Kyle Hill representing the Kansas City Chiefs. Who is he going to take?
I really want to go wide receiver, but I don't really feel like who's available at wide receiver.
I think there's one guy, Downs.
So I've actually been hearing great things about Downs. I think a lot of stuff I've been hearing is like people have him ranked higher than some of these top 3 guys, but go back. There's just I wish that the Chiefs needed more help at O-line because there's so many fucking offensive linemen left. What are we looking at? 6 guys and 5 of them are O-line?
Yeah. I've never heard a whole lot about Dawan Jones, to be completely honest.
Dude, Will McDonald
Levi, you got
is
anything
still
on
on the
him?
board. On who?
On Dawan Jones. I don't know about this guy either.
Dawan Jones.
Oh, the right tackle from Ohio State. Honestly, pretty solid. He's the one I was referring to. Could probably play left or right. It's just, Paris Johnson, who is a potential top 10 pick, was the left tackle on the other side. But he's definitely solid, projected to play more of the right side. Will McDonald, 4th, the edge rusher from Iowa State, still on the board as well. Really good player. But you were mentioning Downs. I watched the combine footage. It's on one of my lives. I'm telling you, when I watched Downs, he looked good. He looked so fluid and natural, and he tested well as well.
I could also see Breesy going here. I can't believe he's still on the board.
Breesy's been falling a little bit.
Really?
He was originally I saw him at one point at a 15th, and to my Ravens at 22, and now he's ranked 40th. So I don't know what happened with him, to be honest, but he's been falling.
This 2 week leading up to the draft too is just you will see dudes projected at 10 and then projected at start of the second round, and it's like you just don't know what's going on there at that point.
Look at Kyle Hamilton last year. Was originally supposed to be a top 5 pick and fell to us at 14.
I like Osiris Torrance here. I'm just going to go to that spot. I've been a fan of his.
I think that's a good pick.
I think that'll work out nicely for them. Who is that puts them that pairs with? Who's that? Is that white dude they got a tackle? I want to say his name's like Humphreys, or why am I spacing on it?
Oh,
Creed Humphreys, center. Yeah, and he's a really good center.
Yeah.
I wanted Baltimore to take him, and we missed him the year before Linderbaum.
So I think that'll be solid matching him at guard next to him. So Osiris is also he's an oversized guard, isn't he? He's pretty big.
He's a big dude. He can move people.
Yeah.
He's the clear number 1 guard.
330. Yeah. Holy cow.
That is
a
huge
big boy.
guard.
Yep. That's a big boy.
It says 330 here, but it says 347 down here. Levi, you're on the clock.
Oh, the Steelers are literally drooling right now. So they went and got their first round corner, Joey Porter, dream pick. There are still all these amazing tackles on the board, and Steelers need tackle help. I think they're ecstatic. I think this pick, again, Broderick Jones is on the board. I think the pick's Darnell Wright from Tennessee.
That's what I was thinking too. I've seen him graded higher than, I know PFF doesn't have it that way, but I've seen him graded a lot higher than Broderick Wright this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So the Texans are now on the clock. Now, AFC South, this is Bryant. Keep in mind they already got CJ Stroud and Keanu Benton. So they got defensive line and quarterback, and they need a receiver, a center, and a D lineman.
Can we go and check out what the wide receivers look like?
Your guy, Josh Downs, still on the board.
I guess we'll take him. I don't always draft by like position rankings and stuff because I don't really care about the rank, the grade at the end. But we'll take him because he's got. Can you click on his stats or his bio?
Yeah,
I took I took a 6-footer the other day earlier.
Yep.
Like
He's a little smaller, if I remember correctly.
5'9".
5'9".
Yeah.
But look at his stats against Clemson, right? 71.4. Or his grades, I mean. Virginia Tech 90.5, and Virginia Tech has some NFL caliber defensive backs on their team.
Mm-hmm.
So what was his worst performance against Georgia Tech? They're a good team, but
no, I
actually
think his
knew a guy
worst
that played
performance
linebacker
was
in
against.
Virginia.
Who's that? Who's the logo?
Sorry,
that
that
is
is
that
If you look at his 40 time too, I think he was one of the fastest testers at the combine too. And I'm telling you, like I said, I have actual notes from the drills.
But look at that weight.
Yep.
171.
I heard it was some podcast. I think it was like Rondé Barber or something, but he was hyping up Josh Downs as like his number 2 to 3 wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he was on with Steve Smith, so you gotta hype up the little guys when you're talking with Steve Smith a little bit,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like they hyped up Zay. I don't know. I like little guys, but little guys have a purpose and a role more so. And don't get me wrong, there's sometimes those guys that break it. Like don't get me wrong. As much as I hated Antonio Brown when he was with the Steelers, I had to give respect to that man because even though he was smaller, his route running and ability to create separation was truly like number one level. Like.
Let's
See,
take.
I mean, dude, route running, he was, one of the best ever, to be honest with you.
Oh, I used to watch his route running videos, honestly, like how he would set up his fade routes. Like it was art. It really was.
No, watching that dude destroy every, like no one looks at him in a positive light anymore. And it honestly was a bummer to me because he is so fucking talented. Now he's this cocky ass rapper boy that's getting in trouble all the time. And I'm like, dude, you're just tarnishing a legacy that someone could argue that you were a top 15 wide receiver ever. And there's arguments to back that up.
Well, I could argue that I like Antonio Brown for what he's done off the field. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just
you're
Brian, I'm sorry. You're quiet over there tonight, Brian. You tired?
I can tell you later. I'll tell you off chat.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're fine. Let's take this guy.
So Josh
I
Downs
have the Arizona
board.
Cardinals here. They need guard and center. A lot. They need everything.
I got a few till I pick. I'm gonna grab some food here real quick.
No, that's fine.
Yep.
Text me, Joe, if I'm up.
No, you're good. So the Cardinals need guard, center, D-line, and cornerback. And I mean, honestly, as we know, what else? They need everything. They kind of suck. So I'm feeling Broderick Jones is the one you think that could move to guard, or was that somebody else?
I really wasn't sure because he's 6'5". You normally don't like your guards too big. It's just like this thing, like with your core helps your quarterback. He might at 3'11", but I doubt it. Like he's a really good tackle. Like
who'd they get in the first round? They got Will Anderson.
Yeah, Will Anderson. I know it's tough.
Let's just go Brian Breesy here. That he's still on the board.
Oh wow! Okay.
That would make sense to replace Zach Allen, right? So,
I think so because he's like that 298. Yeah, that would make sense. I like it.
AFC South, we got Bryant. They need all offensive linemen, I guess. Except left guard. I think they got Quentin Johnson, right? So quarterback, wide receiver, and I think we addressed the quarterback earlier.
Yep, they took Anthony Richardson.
So I guess it's wide receiver, O-line, cornerback.
Let's take wide receiver.
Just the top one, or
No, scroll down a little bit. I want to see if my guy's there.
I've got a few sleepers on
Right
these
there,
wide
right there. Go to UCLA.
Jake Bobo?
That's him. Take him.
Okay.
All right.
Fuck, I got the Rams. They need O-line. I'll go Broderick Jones. Makes sense, right? They really haven't had any offensive linemen since Whitworth retired.
Yeah, I can always take it. All right, your Seahawks.
This is where my man goes. And Levi knows who I'm talking about. This is my boy, Jack Campbell, okay? And before we take him, I just want everybody to look at that PFF grade, and that is no lie. I've watched tape on this guy, 6'5", 249 pounds, basically looks like the next Jack Lambert when he's playing football.
It really
Hold on, this dude's a linebacker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one that didn't.
What is?
Oh, he's a true linebacker.
Okay.
Bro.
He takes on Ohio State linemen. Let's put it that way.
Dude, he is wild. So I told Levi to feature this guy in his videos because I was like, holy shit, this guy. So, pre-draft process, right? I like to watch the prospects. Like I said, I'm not a combine guy. I'm a tape guy. I turn on.
He is
so
the
I
tail
look,
of the tape.
Top-rated linebackers. I look up Drew Sanders from Arkansas. I look up this guy, and I look up the guy from Wazoo. And this guy right here, Jack Campbell, by far, I've fallen in love with this guy. And it's almost like wherever he ends up in the draft, I'm going to follow this guy because he's the next Bobby Wagner, Luke Kuechly, Brian Urlacher, whatever you want to say. I think he's the next best linebacker in the NFL.
Joe, is this who you were talking to me about this morning or yesterday or whatever?
I don't know.
You were hyping up some linebacker, just saying that he was like your top guy. If he wasn't, he's kind of underrated, but top guy for sure.
Yeah, and he's my guy here. If he's here, I'm not letting him slip any farther. I'm drafting Jack Campbell, Iowa. That's my guy.
Brian Colt, shout out to my boy Gunny, said he saw Bobo at the combine. I think he looks solid.
Yeah, I started paying attention to him after I started looking into DTR, and that guy, that's his guy. So I'm like, maybe the Niners could get him. Maybe they could get him and DTR. Just thoughts. But
Brian's a huge DTR guy. I think they'll get him in the 5th round, right?
I think they're going to get him. I don't know what draft they'll get him, what round, but I just like the mentality. If you got too many quarterbacks, you really have no quarterback, right? If you got 2 good quarterbacks, you don't have one, right? Well, if you get a quarterback with 2 last names, maybe he's the one.
That's some logic right there. I like that.
And then on top of that, his jersey number's 1. I think it's a sign.
Brian's you are very, what's it called? Superstitious, I feel like. Brian's a superstitious guy.
I think Brian's just a professional bullshitter is what I'm hearing right now.
No,
Brian, I got a guy to keep it on. His last name's Hasselwood, Jadon Hasselwood, I guess, out of Arkansas. Supposedly going to be undrafted free agent. But I don't know, man.
Watching Bobby Petrino, I don't want.
Dude, watching him at the combine and his drills, dude, he looked so smooth just running with the ball. Like, it just gave me this feeling.
Brian, it's your pick up here, AFC West, or Kyle, it's your pick up here. We got AFC West. They got Will Levis in the 1st round. They need O lineman, D lineman, defensive back.
You said Will Levis. Oh yeah, I picked for them Will Levis in the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's still too much talent, I think, to not go tackle here for O line. I would just take
the top-rated guy. Okay.
Even if they're not picking them, someone's trading up for them.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're
That's
not
the
getting
thing,
past
is I
those
don't
picks.
think there's enough. I think there's too much talent, not enough need at those spots. Whereas like where guys fall, it's kind of a reach. So I do think you'll see a lot of like trade up, trade down for tackles.
I really feel like
Well,
though
and
we've
I
got
think
3
this
like
year-
elite players left on the board, really too. And that's
this
it.
year, unlike last year, you had like top 10 talent in Cross, Iquanu, and Evan Neal, right? And this year they're more like middle first round talent in God, I don't even know who they are anymore. Broderick Jones is one of them. I know that. And then
Anton Harrison, Darnell Wright.
Pierre Skoronsky is who I was thinking of.
Yep, Skoronsky.
But they're more like top 15 talent, maybe top 20 talent. So I don't know. Kyle's back on the clock with the Panthers. Let's see. We got Bryce Young at pick number 1. Their needs are quarterback, wide receiver, edge.
Yeah. They wish they could have got Josh Downs, UNC kid, kept him in Carolina.
Oh, that's not who I was thinking it was. It's another complicated name. There's a edge rusher from Northwestern. Can you go to edge?
Yep. I know who you're talking about. Or
I just don't know where he's ranked, I guess, as it becomes.
no, he's ranked pretty good. He also at the combine, he's like 298 as an edge rusher and blew the combine up with numbers. Adetomiwa.
I want him here because he's been climbing lately. I was actually seeing something about. I saw one today where the Seahawks had him at 20, and I was like, "Holy shit, who's this guy?" And I think he's the real deal. I feel like Northwestern kind of just produces those like these last few years. They're kind of coming on the map. They're producing more consistent talent. You see a couple big names.
Yeah.
Bro, where did Collier go?
I mean,
didn't Collier go to Northwestern?
This is territory where I've focused so much on fantasy and rookie drafts and offense that this is at this point in the draft, I am not that versed in a lot of these guys. So,
yeah, Will McDonald, the 4 still on the board too.
Yeah,
that's another big name. Saints are on the clock.
Okay, so they took the Northwestern kid. Okay.
This is me, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm going to keep it. Oh, wait, no. Who did? The Saints picked up. I was going to say, I mean, it's interesting. Jahmyr Gibbs is so like Alvin Kamara, like it almost feels right to take him there, but they got Williams, didn't they? And then Kamara's still, I mean, you know how it goes. When you got money, you don't really get into legal trouble. So, he'll probably buy his way out of that one. Dude, I always say that. I don't care if it's like, athletes or politicians or whatever, but I just feel like when you have money and status, you just don't get in trouble like the rest of normal people, So we've seen it time and time again. NFL players get out of shit that they shouldn't get out of. So that's more opinionated based, I guess. But it's just one of those things where Kamara feels right, or the Kamara look alike, but
he does look just like him.
Dude, I mean, it looks like him. He's a pass catching back. He's smaller than Kamara.
199. Yeah,
that's his only knock. That's his knock. His size for the NFL. He's the best pass catching back.
He is.
Shout out, Little Sponge.
Little Sponge in the chat.
He is.
What is up, Little Sponge? You're my boy, Sponge.
Who is the Saints taken so far? Who have I taken for them?
I believe
Luke Van Ness, right? Edge player.
No, they have another one.
I was going to say, because then Will McDonald doesn't make sense.
I got Van Ness.
Yeah. I think they only have
Where was their original pick at? Oh, shoot. They were at 10. They traded to the Eagles, right?
Yep.
Was that not part of the Sean Payton trade?
No, that was the Denver second.
Yeah. Like I said, 29 went from San Francisco to Miami to Denver to New Orleans.
And Joe, I wanted to say something earlier when you were talking about your boy Jack Campbell and Drew Sanders. The other linebackers to keep an eye out on, Trenton Simpson, the linebacker out of Clemson. The kid's good. I don't know. He originally was a first round talent, but has been falling. And then there's going to be 2 really interesting prospects: Henry Tu'o out of Bama, kind of later and then Owen Popo out of Auburn. dude blew the combine up, but it wasn't just like his running numbers. Dude, man, threw up like 29 on the bench press. He's ranked 164.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, keep an eye on Popo. He might be an actual animal if he can get.
I don't like Sanders. I really don't. Like,
he transferred from Bama to Arkansas because he got beat out. That's my problem with him. He left.
Another one I like is Noah Sewell here, linebacker. Yep. His brother's Penei Sewell, the tackle for the Lions.
He looked pretty good at the combine as well. He looked quick.
What do we got for corners left here?
I think there's still one solid corner, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, Miami kid. But
see, I like Keely Ringo.
This is where it's going to get interesting.
Here, but
shoot, I didn't realize Keely Ringo's dropped this far.
Hey, I was just about to mention Keely Ringo, Julius Brents.
Fuck it. I want Keely Ringo. I don't care if they think it's a reach on PFF over here. That dude is like the most. He's got the measurables right there. That's NFL size, and people say his hips are a little tight. I get that, but I don't know. I like that dude. I think he's going to be a dog in the NFL.
He's actually on one of my highlight reels, but not for the good reasons. Someone threw a beautiful pass right over him to their wide receiver. It was a highlight for the quarterback and the wide receiver, but no knock on him.
It's always tough to see, but the more you play, the more you're going to be on those low lights, as opposed to just highlights.
I love the kid, though, honestly.
Bryant, you're up. The Titans need wide receiver, O-line, and in the first round, I believe they drafted an offensive lineman. No,
we took wide receiver Jackson Smith and Jiba first round for the Titans at pick 11.
Can we go O-line?
Okay, so yeah, I guess that'd be the next logical pick, right?
Dawan Jones is a solid right tackle. I don't know. Let me check their depth chart real quick.
They got to replace Taylor Lamont, basically.
They kind of do, yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's take.
No. They signed Andre Dillard from the Eagles for left tackle. So they don't need a left tackle.
Well, Brian, what's up?
Let's take that one where your mouse is at.
Okay. I got the NFC North. I don't remember who I picked at 13. Brian Branch, safety. Yep. So we're obviously not going to go safety again. This is where we're going to go tight end, and I think that's where Sam Laporta goes.
Okay.
AFC East. That's Levi.
Yes, sir. So I got to double check what we took in the first round here. Where is it? Dang it. We took Paris Johnson, the tackle. Okay. This is where one of my guys I was just mentioning comes off the board. This is where Trent Simpson, linebacker from Clemson, comes off the board to the Jets.
Okay.
Love the kid. Man, it's hard to not go with Will McDonald though, but they've got so much edge already.
He's still there. And the Falcons, NFC South, Kyle.
That's probably where he comes off the board, honestly.
Yeah.
Where are we at, Falcons? What did I pick for them earlier?
They got
Nolan
a quarterback,
Smith edge.
No, yeah, they got Nolan Smith. So they went edge already.
I mean,
it's kind of a weird spot.
Yep.
Mozzie Smith would be a good one. His name is dropping too. So
yeah.
Who's back? Who's the wide receiver right now?
Drake London.
Yeah, they got Drake London and Kyle Pitts.
I don't know who's available.
Who's at wide receiver?
There's some good names available right now.
That better.
Marvin Mims, I've heard a lot about. Kind of a third-round guy, though.
Yeah, he blew the top off the. He blew the top off the combine, but he's like not terrible. He's like borderline 6, but I mean, there's some good names.
One of the smallest wide receiver drafts. I feel like everyone's like 5'9" to 5'11".
It's hard to gain separation when you're a big man. And that's something I told Joe, like when talking about DK Metcalf, a big man that can create separation is considered elite. Always, basically.
Hey, and his buddy AJ Brown. Don't forget about him.
Oh, Brown.
And even Debo. Debo's only like 6 foot, right? But he's stacked. Debo's like built. So
When
Well,
I
that's
used to
the tough
coach
part
wide
is, like,
receivers,
it's
I
one
had to
thing to
tell them
be
to think their hips.
it's one thing to be skinny, like, you know, like weight, but or I mean, sorry, it's one thing to be a little short, but when they're down on weight and on height, it's like, dude, I picture, you know, another John Ross coming out or something where you're like, holy shit, he's fast as hell, but he just couldn't keep it together. I mean, he just
That's kind of
NFL's
Mims,
a
I
different
feel like
beast.
a little bit. Like he looked good
Yeah.
route running, but I'm trying to find
Hey.
his.
John Ross.
I like Jonathan Mingo. Oh, go ahead.
John Ross. He played in Washington, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
My buddy from Stockton, California. He made it up to Washington. He didn't get to start, but he was on the same team as John Ross.
Oh shit, dude, that's pretty cool.
sick.
Yeah, he won the.
Yeah.
He's got the 40 record still, right?
I'm
Yeah,
not
like
sure,
4.26 or 4.24.
but
I
I
thought it
think
was
he
like
got
4.22.
drafted by the Bengals. I think he got drafted by the Bengals, and
Yeah.
his family, my buddy's family. Well, I'm friends with the family. They're all excited for him, and I was like, man, I want him to come to the Niners, and they're all Raider fans, and they're like, no, anywhere but the Niners. I was like, you guys,
And you
man,
got Pettis instead.
Yeah, we could have won a Super Bowl. You know, I'm like, if you want your guy to do good, you put him on a good team, and they're like, so it could have been.
So this spot's interesting. I think it's funny that we're just talking AJ Brown and DK Metcalf because Jonathan Mingo is another one of those big ass, strong wide receivers.
Yeah, same
like
college
click on him
too.
real quick.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
He
why
looks
it's
good.
weird.
Like
Like-
20.
But have you seen pictures of that dude? He's got a stout frame on him.
And his draft stock is only going up. Look at this.
Let me see if that's who I think it is.
But I think that's part of this draft is you got so many little dudes that when you get that bulkier, you know, some teams want that. So I think it's kind of tough, but I don't think any wide receivers are worth the value here.
Yep.
They don't have a quarterback, do they? But I don't. Oh, go to quarterback.
A lot of people have been high on Rashee Rice, the that kid out of SMU. There's a little bit of worry about his level of play, but he's a 6'1" guy, and I'm pretty sure if I remember right, he looked pretty good at the combine. If I have my notes,
Part of me still feels
Yeah,
like
I
the
don't like
Falcons are
any of
going
that.
to end up with Lamar.
You think so?
Rice has been mocked to us in the second round pretty recently, actually, as well.
Who? Oh, Rashee Rice.
Yeah, Rashee Rice. I've got nothing but good notes on him on all of his drills.
I thought you said Bryce. I was like, oh, yeah, he's not going number one now. He's being ranked to the Falcons in the second round.
Yeah, Mims ran a 4.38.
I want to double up on him here.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Go on, Will
If
McDonald.
McDonald
Will
can basically play
Or this
linebacker,
guy, Uzoma.
Wait, I got Nolan Smith on them earlier, right?
Yeah.
oh no, that McDonald pick, by the way, makes a lot of sense, actually. Sorry.
Yeah, stick to McDonald.
Sorry.
Let's see. I had the Packers earlier, so I know I picked Sam Laporta, right? And I also picked Brian Branch, safety. So I think is Mozzie Smith. Oh yeah, he is. Mozzie Smith, right here. D lineman. It says one of their needs is quarterback, but there's no way. I don't think they're drafting a quarterback.
Think here.
Who's got the Patriots?
That would be
Levi.
AFC East. Let me double check here. What do we take in the first round? We took a tackle. Yep. I think at this point for the New England Patriots, we're going to stick with the edge, start grooming someone under Judon a little bit. And we're going to take the number one guy left on the board, Felix and Nuke Uzuma.
I wasn't even going to try to say the first half of his name. Brian, we got you. They need, let's see who we picked in the first round, but their needs are quarterback, guard, center, linebacker. Where are they? We picked a center already, so they got their center of the future. Still need guard, linebacker, quarterback, and I think they want to stick with Sam Howell this year, but who knows?
Yep.
So
Let's check out linebacker.
Okay.
That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Sanders, I could see him going here. But then again, the kid off Henley.
Because he's a Razorback, right?
Yep.
And that makes sense going to Washington, right?
I mean,
we're not allowed to use that.
What it is, I guess he's a good blitzer.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, it'd probably work. I'd like it.
Brian, yeah, it went over my head.
It's all right.
Over my head.
All right, same.
Because you guys know the Commanders. I don't know if they still dress up as pigs or not, but yeah, let's go with the Razorback.
Yeah. Okay, that would make sense, dude. I just don't like him personally until he plays for the Seahawks, and I love him. I got the Lions here. I'm gonna see who we picked. We got Quentin Johnson. So we got cornerback, wide receiver,
and corner.
What else?
You got Christian Gonzalez earlier too, didn't you?
That's what I meant. Cornerback.
Oh, sorry.
Tight end. Who's that? There's still a good tight end. Oh, right there, Darnell Washington. They lost Hawkinson. That makes sense. All right, we got the Eagles on the clock.
Wait.
No,
Pittsburgh. Yeah, me.
I don't know what I'm saying right now.
You're fine. You're fine, man.
That's my bad.
Let me see. We took tackle Darnell right earlier, and then of course Joey Porter. So we got our DB tackle. We need a linebacker to replace Bush, I guess.
Yeah, he came here to Seattle.
That's too high of a stretch for any of those linebackers. I mean, man. Oh, this is tough. Jahmyr Gibbs is on the board. Like they could groom him to be the next back there. There's a really good guard on the board. I think Jahmyr Gibbs comes off the board here to the Steelers. I don't care what anyone says.
Someone to kind of compliment. What's his name? 22.
Najee.
Yeah, Najee Harris.
Because isn't Najee coming up on his?
Kyle, we got NFC South here. We got the Buccaneers, and they need a whole lot of people. Quarterback, tight end, offense. That's what I was.
Did I get tight end for them?
Yeah, you got tight end already.
Was that Kincaid?
And yeah, guard might make sense here.
Yeah, they lost their Pro Bowl left guard or right guard, I think.
Yeah, because I bet at the early mock drafts, I was seeing Osiris Torrance mocked to them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
No, fuck it. I want Hendon Hooker.
You know what? I could see that too so much.
I know it's weird. They don't have a great quarterback right now, but I like
Dude,
that.
Baker's not the future.
I was 2 picks away from getting Hendon Hooker and Jack Campbell on the Seahawks, and you have to screw it up for everybody.
That's the problem. You didn't give me the Seahawks. That's the problem.
Bravo, good sir.
That's what I'm supposed to do, right? You're supposed to, create problems.
Now you're stuck with just DTR.
Yeah, I'm pissed. All right. Whoever's got the Dolphins? Levi, go ahead. I'm pissed.
Too funny. All right, taking a look here. Need offensive line. I'm taking Abiola off the board, the second best guard in the draft. Look pretty good.
Well, thanks, guys. My draft day plans just got absolutely ruined. Thanks, guys. Because I'm like, oh, he's still there. Oh, he's still there.
That's what happens when you bring friends onto the stream.
Yeah, exactly. So there is a center here, the guy with the mullet, Tittman. He's visited the Seahawks. I know they really liked him at the Senior Bowl. This is who I'm going with. Center Joe Tittman.
Faith in your guy. Faith in the mullet.
I hate
you should pull up his picture. Pull up his picture. Do it. Do it for the stream.
I did. There. Yeah, I hate the mullet. I absolutely hate it, but the Seahawks like it. And look at who he did good against. Ohio's pretty average across the board. Whatever. We'll go with him. The Seahawks like him. NFC North, this is me again. Who do we pick in the first round with the Bears?
I know, so many picks.
We got Devin Witherspoon. Already some corners off the board. Tackle center. We'll go with this Luke Weibler here. Kyle at AFC West.
I like it.
Kyle.
My bad. That's me not unmuting.
No, you're fine, man.
I want Zach Charbonnet here. It makes too much sense. We're staying in California, and I don't think Eckler's going to be there much longer. So I think that's a good replacement for him. I'm pretty high on Charbonnet as well. So
there's a little bit of argument he's the best overall rounded back in this draft, actually.
Okay, so I got the Lions. I know I made a couple picks.
How are they arguing that over Bijan is what I want to know.
Bijan? I don't know, man. I haven't checked his
pass. Charbonnet's a little stockier, I think.
Yeah, I like his running style, and he's really good out of the backfield, like Gibbs too, like pass catching.
Oh, I'm trying to acquire like a end of round 1 rookie dynasty pick to target him, because if I can get Bijan and Charbonnet in the same draft, my team's stacked at wide receiver, and I'll be chilling.
Especially depending on what team he goes to, that would be a good one.
Plus, I got
so we got the Lions here. It says edge is a need, but I feel like edge is always a need. I already got a wide receiver. I already got a tight end. And we'll go BJ Ojolari here. The Jaguars, AFC South. That's you, Bryant.
Can you bring up the edge again?
Edge would be Tuli Tuapolote.
Let's take him.
Sorry.
What can you say it again?
Tui Tuapolote.
Let's take him because they'll sell jerseys.
Probably.
Brian.
Well, no, it's Jacksonville. They won't sell any jerseys.
Not in America, but in the UK they will.
Brian, you got a couple picks coming up here. We got the Giants. Let's see who they picked already. You got a wide receiver already. They need wide receiver, center, linebacker, safety. I feel like most of the linebackers are off the board already.
Let's try safety. Or we can try another wide receiver. Let's go for another wide receiver.
You can put multiple positions, by the way. So if you just add a linebacker or whatever they need, so it'll show the board with all just the positions you filter it by.
I haven't heard a lot about this Nathan Dell guy, to be completely honest with you.
Dude, I'm telling you, Dell's good. Dell, I think, made a huge one-hand catch in one of the drills. Quarterback put a really shitty ball to him, and he.
That would make sense. It's the Giants. They'll have the next Odell, who catches like one great pass a year and then stuff.
Trying to find my notes.
Let's take him.
Okay.
Or it was Bell.
You got the Cowboys.
Bell's good too.
You got the Cowboys. I believe we picked up Jordan Addison already, wide receiver. Needs a running back, D-line, linebacker, cornerback. There's a couple.
Can we look at quarterbacks?
QB?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody worth taking right now.
I mean, some people would argue Tanner McKee, borderline second to third, I guess. But
what about Stinson Bennett? You think he'd be a good Cowboy?
No.
He'd be the perfect Cowboy.
Let's take him.
That's a great pick.
Taking my future guy, my backup, one of the better deep ball throwers in the league.
I don't think Dak's gonna be there much longer. I don't.
He might be right on that though. He's
not wrong. You actually might be.
All right, my Bills are on the clock.
Yeah, AFC East.
Let me see.
Yeah, back to back here.
Trying to see who we took all here already. Sorry. So I took Emmanuel Forbes in the first round. I haven't had a second pick. So, all right. Let me go to that D line. We got to address D line and edge here. Just someone that can get down in the trenches. I think with that being said, the pick here is going to be Isaiah Foskey. I think, let me double check him real quick. Sorry. Yeah, Foskey is who we'll take here. He
Is he
can
a
play a
D
little bit.
lineman?
He's an edge player technically. I
Oh,
think. Me.
yeah.
No. Can I change my pick? Is it too late?
No.
I'm gonna take actually Gervon Dexter Sr., Florida defensive tackle. I think he's rated a little too low. I think he's going to be actually a really good interior pass rusher, which would be something the Bills desperately need. Going back to the Bengals, I took care of tight end already. I'm sorry. We're taking a look over this board. Oh,
That's
yeah. This is
fine.
where I hate to say it. I wanted this kid, but this is where Julius Brents comes off the board. Fun fact, guys, Julius Brents has had a pre-draft visit with every single team, all 32.
No.
He
He's
has
the
talked to every
Seahawks
team.
guy in the 4th round.
No,
I
he's
hate
coming off
you
the
and
board
Kyle
right
right
there.
now because you're
He's
pissing
coming
me
off
off.
that board.
He's going. Look at this guy.
I'm telling you,
I want
he's
you to
going
look at this
second.
guy. Julius Brents,
He's going
prototypical
second round. No way.
Seahawks cornerback, 6'3", 198, massive wingspan.
Hot
He's
take.
going.
He's going to be the sneak pick of the first round. He's going to creep into first round picks for corner.
No, he's not. He's going to be in the 4th.
Calling it. He's not dropping out a second, bro.
All right. Well, I'm back to the NFC North, and I'm going to fuck this up because I'm – no, I'm just kidding. So we got the Bears. I already picked
3 picks away, guys.
a center. I already picked somebody else. A cornerback.
There it is, Weatherspoon.
Tackle. We'll just go with the top-rated tackle on the board. Cody Mauch.
Yep. North Dakota State kid.
No, see Bryant.
For the Eagles?
Yeah, and let me see because they already had a couple picks already. They had Bijan, running back, and they also had cornerback.
I want to get a tight end, I think.
Okay.
Musgrave?
Yeah, Musgrave is.
Yeah.
Not that Kelsey. Well, Kelsey plays for the Chiefs, but his brother's he's not a tight end on the. He's not a tight end on the team. He's a
center.
Eagles.
Center, huh?
Center.
Yep.
But let's
Really
go.
good one, too.
Let's go with a tight end. Let's get that one Musgrave.
It actually makes a lot of sense because they did that when they drafted, what was it, Godare? And then he went to Dallas, or no, who did he go to? They have a history of picking 2 good tight ends, so.
Kyle, you have.
I remember when they had
Kyle,
Selleck. He was really good.
I got the Chiefs. Is there
Selleck was
why
nice.
where did I go first? I can't remember. I wanted to go wide receiver, but I didn't.
No, you went guard. Osiris Torrance. You have anybody on the board?
It's a tough one. There's some decent wide receivers on the board.
That Mingo, like when you were describing
they already have enough smaller guys that are fast.
When you were describing that
That's
Mingo,
Mims.
though,
That's Mims then.
They got too many of those.
Oh, then Rashee Rice is not bad. Trey Palmer.
Well,
Palmer.
When you were describing that Mims or Mingo, sorry, I was like, you know what? That sounds like the opposite of what the Chiefs have already. So
that's why I'm.
Okay, I got it for you, Trey Palmer. If you check him out, I think he's over 6 foot. He was the fastest wide receiver at the combine, 4.33, over 6 foot as well.
So
he's big and fast.
14.
I want Mingo.
Okay. I respect the Mingo pick.
And with that, guys,
grading our draft. How does it know anything?
I know, right?
I will download this image.
Yeah, I just did too.
And then we'll do full results.
Is this way on Thursday we can see how wrong we were?
Basically.
Yeah, basically.
We're all going to be so wrong.
Yeah, there's going to be so much shit.
That's why I just threw in a couple of random picks that I have like more heart picks.
Yeah. But I think that was fun, guys.
Yeah.
That was our final Monday night mock draft of the season. And I'm glad that Kyle and Bryant came in. so it wasn't so
For sure,
monotonous of just me and Levi talking shit back and forth, saying why each other are wrong. Sound like Stephen A. and Skip Bayless.
Gross.
Gunny said somewhat inaccurate. I beg to differ, Gunny. All right, it's on site next time I see you. Okay.
I want to see Gunny's mock draft thing compared to ours, so then he can see how wrong he is too.
Yeah, Levi, are you trying to share your screen?
I am actually. Let's see here. See if we can go back to the beginning here.
Don't show me the nudes.
Show me the nudes. So I got ours on here as well now, but
that's ours.
Yeah, that's ours, officially our first round right there. But
okay,
I thought it was interesting just to compare kind of against, So what's funny is we took someone took Anthony
number 4.
Yeah, I was just trying to compare.
Someone had him go, who's Donahue?
So
number
if you
3?
look it up, people who had over the past 5 years, these two guys had over the past 5 years have the highest percentage of correct picks in the NFL draft. So I used these two as an example. Over 5 years, he's done. Everyone's an idiot with the drafts. Everyone's sub 50%. Let's put it that way. No one is even above 50% in calling their picks. But
this shit feels like baseball.
It is a little bit, dude. Especially when you get into the trades, there's no predicting this. Like,
I'm stoked for those top 10 trades this year. I think it's going to go wild.
Oh man, for real,
dude. I was thinking, random kind of hot take, I guess you could call it, is I was thinking that T. Higgins might get moved because they couldn't afford to pay Chase and Higgins, but then Higgins got paid.
Mm-hmm. They do that. That roster is not even fair.
I mean, they'll get rid of Boyd. They'll pay Higgins and Chase. They'll probably have a rookie running back, and then Boyd will also probably be gone when his contract's up.
I'm calling for some draft day craziness. Houston trades to Las Vegas at 7, and they basically flip-flop C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson at 2 and 7. So the Raiders would get C.J. Stroud at 2, and the Houston Texans are comfortable with Anthony Richardson at 7 while fortifying their draft stock even more for the next year. That's my hot take call. Had to put it up there.
I know that draft season is rough for you this year, but trust me, me and Kyle know how it feels to not have a pick until the 3rd round, and we get it. It sucks because you're stuck talking about other stuff, not the draft, when everybody else is having all the fun. We ended up
we're having a lot of fun this year, I will say. A lot more than we've had.
Yeah.
For me, it's still interesting because, there's a lot of speculation. Do they move up? Do they not? Do they trade anybody? And there's like 4 or 5 people. There's 2 legitimate trades that could happen still, even with the general manager coming out and saying what he said today. I don't take too much stock into them saying stuff because they don't want to tell you the truth. No organization wants to say, this is what I have in my hand. You want to see what cards I got? Oh, do you have 2? Go fish, right? No, they don't want to do that, because so for whatever happens, I'm not going to say, oh, I want this guy traded or not, but it's always exciting to me because even when you don't have a 1st round pick, and this goes for any team, there's ways to get it. So I don't know, so I'm still excited. I had a lot of fun, and this way you get to learn more about players and stuff. I've only done 1 mock draft this season, and I took a couple different players, and when I was going through it, I was just taking the highest player rated, or maybe the second, in looking how we were doing basically, and going for positional needs. But if I see Jake Moody there, I might take Jake Moody, or DTR, I might take him, especially if we don't need him. But that's just me. But no,
yeah, down there at lower, but you can't be goofing around at number 10 picking Jake Moody like they're the Raiders.
Well, I mean, that's everybody's opinion, though. Exactly like the Raiders. The Raiders had Janikowski, and he was a kicker for a long time. You guys got Janikowski, and he did good for you guys too. So, shout out to the Raiders.
I'll send you a highlight. Brian, I will have to send you a highlight of the 49ers running back a kick return for a touchdown, and Janikowski just not wanting to tackle him. 0 effort, and that I had a problem with Janikowski after that.
Janikowski always reminded me of Porky the Pig. he put his helmet on, and he got his little pot belly out there, and he'd be running, and it didn't matter what team he was on, what year,
I could see that dude like smoking a cigarette mid kick, and it wouldn't surprise me.
I could too. Just
Like
light up a dart.
Like I don't even think I'd blink an eye. I'd be like, oh, it's just Jankowski. Don't mind him.
Bryant, do you have to leave?
I'm gonna head out. I'll talk to you a little bit later about some stuff, but yeah, I need to go check on the girls and stuff. And thanks for having me.
Do you want to give a shout out what you're doing the rest of the week? What's going on before you leave?
Pretty much, I'll be at work, and then after that, I don't think I'm gonna do anything tomorrow. I think my daughter, she has a meeting. She's part of the Job's Daughters, and if you guys know anything about Masonic families and stuff, that's what she's part of, and we have a lot of fun with that. And then I think on Wednesday, Corey's having his show. Corey Davis is having his trivia show, so I'll be part of that. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, whatever you guys want to do, I'm here.
We'll be in here for the draft. And hey, we got I don't want to give it away. We got something pretty slick planned for the guys on the panel. So before we hop in, so it'll be pretty cool. I know that Ryan at No Border Sports was working pretty hard on it today. So
yeah, so it's a lot of fun. And hey, Kyle, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you want, man, come on Friday sometime. Ryan, he's got enough room. You don't have to stay the whole 8 hours or 12 hours. We go pretty long sometimes. But if you come in even for like an hour or half an hour, you might hear one of my dad jokes or something, so you never know.
Yeah, man. No, I didn't even know about these until Joe sent me a couple clips of last week's, and like that's like my kind of shit. I'm very into like those kind of witty, like off top jokes and stuff, and just I don't know, fucking around with friends a little bit. So I'd be happy to come on, one of these Fridays, hang out for a little bit. I'm honestly one of those guys that by the time Friday hits, I'm so tired that I don't really want to do a whole lot except for, sit at home, pull up my laptop, and maybe talk sports or talk bullshit, whatever it is. So it was nice to meet you, though, man. It was definitely fun talking.
Thanks again. Hope to see this panel again. I met Darwin through, Levi through Joe, and Joe's really respectful. And again, you want to come on Saturday sometime or Sunday sometime, you're not doing anything, I do a show in the mornings too, and we talk, we have a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. I got a couple things I gotta go check on, and thanks again, guys, for having me on.
Hey, Brian, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it. Go Niners, guys.
Oh, no, not in this stream. So yeah, John Jay just came in the chat. Very sorry I'm late. Just got home from work, but I'm here. God damn it, John Jay, you missed the whole fucking show. All right, we were pissed. No, I'm kidding, John Jay. It's all good. Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Is there anything before the draft that you guys want to talk about? Any sleeper picks that you can see the Seahawks or the Ravens taking?
Man, I'm trying to remember the guy I called to y'all. I'd have to pull up my Excel spreadsheet.
I have a nice little list of sleepers here, Brian, and you can, or Levi, you can tell me what you're thinking.
Yeah, let me hear him.
Okay, we got now this one I brought up too. 7th round guy. Weird PFF grade because he was ranked 3rd out of 308 quarterbacks. Clayton Tune. What is going on with this guy? I was trying to ask you about that. I got
the quarterback, correct?
Yeah, what is going on with that guy? Why is his PFF grade so high, and why is he not regarded as a top quarterback if his grade is so high?
Oh, man, what college does he come out of again? And this was something I was mentioning to you before. This is a really deep quarterback class. Edge is +5 at the highest. The next highest grade, according to PFF, of this class is the quarterback at +2. Tune, when I was watching him at the combine, he was spinning it. He was a day 2 quarterback, so he was out there with Anthony Richardson and CJ Stroud. But I'm telling you, dude, I only have out of 3, 6, 9, 12, 20 plus throws that I have marked on these drills, maybe 2 to 3 slightly, like I didn't take away points, but I didn't add points, basically. Like, he looked good. He looked better than some of these, bigger name quarterbacks like McKee and O'Connell. So I like him.
I just don't understand why he was so, like, I never heard of him until, like, I was just scrolling through the prospects, right? I'm going, what's going on with these guys, right? Like the quarterbacks, I kind of like the Seahawks, they always kind of take a sleeper guy. And I look at this guy and I look at his grade and I'm like, holy shit, 92, which is higher rated than like CJ Stroud. So I'm like, what's going on with this guy? I mean, maybe he's got something there. Probably not, because most collegiate quarterbacks don't have in the NFL, but just a guy to keep an eye on.
It's also
I missed it. I was
slightly
sending a
product
text. Which guy are you talking about?
Clayton Tune, quarterback, Houston. His Levi, pull up his PFF.
If I'm not mistaken, part of also what it is systems wise. System has always run a traditional, if I'm not mistaken, air raid offense. So the numbers are sometimes slightly inflated, and of course, like their level of competition. They're playing East Carolina, the Raging Cajuns, Navy, Memphis. But they do play Texas Tech. But so the thing is, like, if you remember, I believe Casey Keenum also came from Houston as well. And he used to put up 4,000, 5,000 yards a season and in Houston. So I think that's part of it, but it can translate. It can. Look at Patrick Mahomes. He came from an air raid offense in college.
Yeah, for real. How about a couple other guys I got are, okay, now Kyle.
Santa Barbara.
Kyle, these are guys that you're going to want to keep an eye on. And if you need to go at any time, let us know, obviously.
You're good. I'm chilling.
Jared Clark, Broderick Martin. We need a nose tackle. We don't have one on the roster. If we're going to run a 3-4 defense or a bear front against the run, we need a nose tackle. These guys are 6'4" and 6'5", both around 330 pounds. It'd be a great replacement for Al Woods. Jared Clark is from Coastal Carolina, and then Broderick Martin is from Western Kentucky.
Shit, because we got no Puna, no Al Woods either, right? Did Al Woods sign anywhere?
I think he's almost leaning towards retirement.
Oh, okay.
So my boy Gerard Clark, CCU Chanticleer, shout out. I went to CCU, actually. That's where I first started college.
Oh, never mind. Don't draft him.
I'm always a CCU guy, man. I'll always support CCU. Funny, and I was trying to tell a story.
If we know if we let guys like you in CCU, he's probably not very smart, but that's fine.
So CCU is a very small college by the ocean where most people would send their kids to go to a party school by the ocean. Let's put it that way. So you're not wrong. And when CCU athletes couldn't meet, because it's already a smaller school, so it's guys that can't get into D1 schools sometimes. Whenever they couldn't meet the academic requirements, there's a small tech school also called Horry Georgetown Technical College, which is also where I went to. And so what they'll do is send the athletes to tech for a year or two, let them get their grades up, and then bring them back so they can play eventually. But yeah, they've been a top 25 team for a while.
So one guy that I'm really hoping the Seahawks get this year, other than the nose tackles there, Jack Campbell, middle linebacker, Iowa. I just can't believe this guy. When I watch him play, I'm thinking, God, that guy's going to go top 10. And the fact that everybody has him graded as middle second round.
He performed poorly at the combine. Like, he did all right, like in some.
I don't care about the combine.
It wasn't even the like the 40s and stuff. It was in the positional drills. He looked so stiff in the drills. But it's one of those ones every guy was saying, watch the tape.
Look at him on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this guy on the field, and God, I have not seen a collegiate linebacker that I've thought, oh my God, that's the guy we need.
I agree.
So,
especially that big. They're not that big anymore.
And not even wide. He's tall. He's 6'5" or 6'4", depending on which grocery store he leaves.
And he can blitz up the middle. He's not bad up the blitz.
But yeah, he can cover. He can blitz. I mean, I look at this guy and I think, boy, that is the next all-pro middle linebacker, right?
I hope y'all don't pass on him because you signed Devin Bush and your guys feel comfortable. Like, I like Devin Bush. He played in the AFC North, but I would still take Campbell.
But I mean, that's the Seahawks thing. They're trying to I think they've had more success drafting best available over need. So maybe we don't need him as much, but I think it's fucking if they think he's best available, why not do it?
Yeah,
and that's the thing too is Jordan Brooks. He's really only got 1 year left with the team. He really does on the contract, or maybe it's 2, because they
think they're going to let him walk though.
What I'm saying is, okay, you got Brooks. You have Bobby, and then you have Bush. No, I get it. I love Jordan Brooks too, but he's not great. But if we could get an all-pro there at middle linebacker, I don't care how much I like a guy as a person. I don't care about how good he looks in the uniform. This guy, watch this guy's tape. I mean, holy shit! If this guy can perform half that well,
he was the Biletnikoff winner. I mean, he was the best linebacker also in college football last year. And if I'm not mistaken, dude's been like a captain for I don't know how long. Like he is leadership. Like I understand why Joe is so in love with the guy. I would love him honestly as Patrick Queen's replacement as well.
Yeah, and you drafted Queen the same year that we drafted Jordan Brooks, and
I think he was the only he was the linebacker before Brooks. I think
probably
either right before or right after.
Yeah, they were they were within a few picks of each other.
Who was that other D tackle you mentioned, other than my boy out of CCU?
Broderick Martin, Western Kentucky. I just basically look for big bodies that can play nose tackle.
I get that. Yeah, he's a little too small.
And then Deuce Vaughn is another one I really like. This guy's like 5 foot. You like him too?
I fucking love Deuce Vaughn. His combine was fucking fun to watch, in my opinion.
All right, go ahead about Deuce Vaughn then, Kyle, because I all I know about him is he's 5'5".
Okay, yeah, I mean everything's against him. But honestly, he's like so low to the ground that the center of gravity's just there, and he just moves quickly. I don't know if he's not a fast guy, but I think he's a quick guy. He's super bulky for how small he is. The dude looks like he's in fantastic shape. And I don't know if this is going to translate at all, but that's a guy that if I see him in the later rounds still sitting there because of the size, I wouldn't mind taking a shot on him. The only problem is this isn't a guy you're going to be able to really play on special teams or anything if he doesn't work out as a running back. So, you're not putting 5'5" guys on special teams. It's just not happening.
No, special teams is in. I think he could be the next great punt or kick returner.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, returner wise, he just won't be like a gunner. He's not gonna be anything, fucking block.
No, not a 5'5", but couldn't you see him kind of being like the next Darren Sproles? Because that's what I think his NFL comparison is.
Well, and I don't know, Levi, you probably track the stats of it more. I don't know what his combine stats looked like compared to other guys, but I liked his drills. I liked the way he moved. He just more looked fluid. He looked athletic.
He did, honestly. He looked good in his drills and athletic. I don't know did he run at the combine? I feel like he did. I'm trying to find my notes on it now.
Those little
running backs was one of the only days I watched.
I just think it's cool that I'm bigger than an NFL player. If Deuce Vaughn's gonna play in the NFL, I'm like, oh yeah, you midget. Look at me, I'm huge compared to you.
I think the word's little person.
Yeah, I'm telling you, one of the guys I like is Chase Brown, the kid out of Illinois. Dude,
I got another one too. You go on that tangent, but then I got one too.
Go ahead. That's all I wanted to say.
What is it? Roshan Johnson, the dude that's been playing behind Bijan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're gonna be overshadowed by a guy like Bijan. It is what it is. But the dude's been if you can put their stats together, it was the best rushing duo in the country.
Well, bro, look at. I know this is 10 years ago, or actually 15 years ago now, but I mean,
he didn't run the 40, by the way, at the combine. Your guy Vaughn, that's what it was.
Did or did not?
He did not, but he did vertical broad and bench press. Did pretty well.
What was his bench?
17 actually, which is pretty impressive.
The dude's he's built, man. For a little.
That's what I'm saying. 225, 17 times for a halfback's not bad.
So back to what Kyle was saying about the guy from Texas.
Yeah,
I love you.
Yeah.
Do you remember Justin Forsett? He was the backup for Marshawn Lynch at Cal.
Love Justin Forsett. And he went to the Ravens.
I was about to say. That's what I was.
Levi would know too. But yeah, he was a backup running back in college, and look at him. He had a decent pro career, enough to where he can collect a pension. He played 7-8 years.
Like 8 years, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a funny story about Justin Forsett. Is like, I'm not big into like, I don't know. I guess I don't really fanboy about a lot of people, but for some reason, I was little. It was one of those like core memories of I'm sitting there, and it was the Chicago Bears Seahawks preseason game. I couldn't tell you what year. You know, we're probably talking 2008 or whatever. But Justin Forsett had a fantastic game. No clue who the dude was, and I just kind of fell in love with him. And I saw him at some like signing event, or I don't remember like what it was, but you know, talked to him for like a quick minute, and I was like, dude, I was at your first game. And he says something about like, oh, this game? And I was like, no, versus the Bears preseason. He's like, ah, shit, that was my first game. Like, to him, it was a preseason game, so he's focusing on making the team. So he's thinking first game being first regular season of his memories, but it was kind of one of those where I don't even think he remembered the fact that the Bears was the first game he ever played.
Yeah, that's funny. I remember that game too because he lit it up. And he was wearing number 30, by the way. Remember, in the preseason. So he wore 20 for the Seahawks, but in the preseason he wore number 30.
Yeah.
I think it was 2009. It was 2009 because 2008 they had another guy kind of like him, smaller guy, Marquise Weeks. I want to say before we get on that, what up, Eric Wallace? Kyle Eric's a big Seahawks fan. He comes in the streams a lot. Oh, yeah. They're letting Bobby's replacement go. I thought Brooks was him. Well, I'll tell you what, if Jack Campbell's the next all-pro linebacker, yeah, I'll let Jordan Brooks go. I don't care. I'll let Bobby Wagner go.
You missed his message. He said the Steelers are very high on him as well because he looks like an old Steeler linebacker.
He does. He looks like Bro, he looks like Jack Lambert. And
exactly. They get Porter and Lambert in the same year? History's repeating for the Steelers.
But yeah.
Holy shit. Sorry to go back on the Forsett thing. But I started reading a little bit about like on his wiki, and it said so he was drafted 7th round in 2008. First game against the Bears is August 16th, 08. He had his first touchdown and 261 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, so he had a huge
136 rushing, 125 returning. And then it said the total was 55 more yards than the entire Bears offense for that night. That's so no wonder I remember falling in love with the dude, but I guess now that I look at the stats, no wonder. I don't think I've ever seen a guy do 260. Well, I guess I was there Seahawks versus Raiders, and I don't know what the boy fuck, why am I spacing on his name? Raiders running back.
Josh Jacobs.
What did he went for like 230, but I mean Forsett put up the single best like all-purpose yardage that I've probably ever seen at a Seahawks game.
Bro, that was the only game I didn't go to last year. The Raiders game.
I went and it hurt.
God, it didn't. I could have been that
like
one
going to the Miami game.
I could have made that one false start. I'm just kidding.
Who else you got for your sleepers?
Sleepers. Okay. So we talked about him a little bit. Julius Brents. Huge wingspan guy. Kind of basically they're thinking kind of the next Richard Sherman. If he climbs up to the first round, I ain't taking him. If he's still there in the third, I am taking him.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think he'll make it out of the second.
Another guy I kind of like, they're saying is the next Cam Chancellor. I don't see it because, like I said, I watch the tape. I don't watch the combine. Chamari Connor. They're saying he is the next Cam Chancellor. I don't see it. Also, what up, Ryan? No Border Sports. How you doing?
Welcome in.
What up, yo? Just
Wait,
taking care of the thumbnails for our draft show.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Did Levi get off his lazy ass and send you the guys that he wants on there or what? Because he's kind of been a prick lately.
Yep. And I just got them done and I've emailed them to you.
I'm excited.
Levi, do
Yes,
you want
sir.
me to? Do you want me to email them to you, or can I just drop them in the Twitter chat? Can you pull them off of the DM on Twitter, or
I could probably pull them off Twitter.
didn't
Ryan,
know?
Did you message me on Twitter?
Nope. I'll do it right now. Though.
But I'm sorry. What was that defensive? What was the safety's name again? Or Cam?
Kamari Connor from Virginia Tech, so same college, and I think that's why people are comparing them. Ryan, this is Kyle. Kyle, this is Ryan.
Oh, Ryan.
Good
What
buddy.
up, Kyle?
Fuck,
Nice to
random
meet you,
update,
sir.
but Kraken are tied 2-2 at the end of the second. I don't know if anyone's big into hockey here, but
Two safeties to keep an eye on. Jamie Robinson out of Florida State has visited a lot of teams, and J.L. Skinner out of Boise State. I think that kid might be something. He's 6'4", 209. Like,
you like him, Kyle?
I just fucking love Boise State. Everyone sleeps on them. There was a time where Boise State was going undefeated almost every fucking year, and they wouldn't even crack the top 25.
Well, tell him to join a real conference, Kyle. That's the problem.
Shout out to your boy Skinner. Then I'll call this. I think he'll be the best safety in this draft, over Brian Branch, even from Bama.
Who I think somebody might take both the Bama safeties, and I think they might both be good in the NFL.
Well, they're gonna be good for sure.
Ryan, what's up with the Niners today? Did they trade for Aaron Rodgers yet? Or
yeah, I heard they did. I heard they brought the boy back to Golden State.
John Lynch came out and said, "Yeah, we told Trey Lance there might be a chance he got traded," and then they were like, "So did you get any offers?" Yeah, no, seriously. And then they asked him, "Did you get any offers?" And he's like, "No, we didn't really get any offers."
Why would you say that? Why would
and then they go, that? "Well, dude, just so just listen." And then he didn't really say it. He said it. Like, he said that anytime they're thinking about trading a player, he's like, before they hear it from anybody else, we bring them in and we talk to them and we let them know. He's like, me and Trey and I have had talks, and So he never said that me and Trey sat down and talked about this specific thing that you're asking about, but he pretty much said, Trey and I have had talks. Trey knows what we're thinking. We're on the same page. Okay. And then he said, Trey just wants a chance to compete. Right. So, and he's going to get a chance to compete because Brock's not going to be ready. You know what I mean? Week 1. So he's going to get that.
Admit Brock won't be ready?
What?
They admitted Brock won't be ready?
Well, it's trending. So, like,
I was going to say, I've seen him go back and forth with rumors.
Not really. If you talk to the people closest to it, they can stay consistent of they'll know more in June. And even if everything goes great, early September is pretty unreasonable to just be back in and going, because that's when you could actually like return to the team, and he'll get like 2 weeks of practice before he'll be starting game. You know what I mean? And starting first game. So it's just unreasonable. There's been over speculation and under speculation that Yahoo the Yahoo article that came out where he supposedly said, I don't even know if I'll play this year. That is not what he said. That was taken out of context, which is horrible. But they also said that they asked if Brandon Ayuk had been shopped at all, and he shot that down. Like, we don't even him and Nick Bosa's, they're not listening calls for the most part. Well, especially Nick Bosa, but Brandon Ayuk, no, they're going to extend Brandon. Then he even alluded to the fact of they might try and give him the bag. So they might try to.
What do you think price wise on a guy like Ayuk?
Bro, I can't. You could tell he stopped from saying we're going to make sure Brandon's on this team for a very long time, because probably they don't know if they can work it in the budget, but that's what they're trending towards. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
What do you have an idea on what you would say he's worth? No,
I think we're going to see him sign a similar deal to AJ Brown.
It depends on the season he has, because look, he like, it's so horrible, but they're gonna go look at your yards. right? And even though like he came out and said I was the fourth option on a team and I still got 1,000 yards, right? That's what he said this year. And it was totally true. He's the fourth receiver on the team when it comes to, you got Debo, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, then you got Brandon Ayuk. Even though he's the number one wide receiver, he's the fourth option on the team. Yeah. They're trying to get the ball in other people's hands. So we'll see. But Bosa will get done closer to training camp. And that's how it always goes.
Let me ask you, if it came down to it, would you keep Ayuk, give him the bag, and I don't know if you can, but get out of the Debo deal later on down the road whenever you backload that contract for Ayuk?
I think, okay, I don't want to move off of Debo or anybody. I'm just going to put that out there.
Okay.
But I think it would probably be easier to move off of Kittle maybe than it would be to be Debo.
That makes sense.
Because right now they're already shopping for tight ends.
Yeah, and this is a very deep tight end draft. We talked,
and they're shopping for because they want the 22 personnel. I'm pretty sure that's they're not only are they trying to be proactive on finding somebody to replace George Kittle or come in for him if he goes down. You know what I mean? Because he does spend some of the year injured most of the times. Well, you know what I mean? Not most of the year injured, but most every year he's injured at some point in time where he missed games. So to have that backup, have that dual tight end sets, I think it really pay off in the end. And if they can move off a Kittle, still have a good tight end, and then draft another tight end, they can kind of put themselves in the same situation as what they had before with two tight ends. So I see them moving away from Kittle more, but the Debo, because the Debo contract's big, and Debo's not a number one wide receiver. He's a weapon. How many teams out there who are going to pay money are going to pay money for a weapon when they're pretty much looking for a number one wide receiver? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't maybe see like a Buffalo Bills, but I see Miami going for him. Like maybe Miami trying to pair him with Tyreek Hill.
Well, they got Waddle though too already.
That's an expensive room right there.
It's expensive, but as long as Waddle's on a rookie contract, you should be able to work it.
Are we talking for this year type of thing, like a move?
Well, when is his fifth year option come up?
Waddle?
Yeah.
It could be year 3 for him, I think.
Yeah, so there's 2 more years. So like if the 49ers are going to move off of Debo next year, then you're talking about so you get 2 years with him at that point, right? On a rookie contract. And Debo's only got 1 more year after this season on this contract. So that'd be like a perfect timing to trade him off, get some draft capital, trade him off in that final year, and then turn around and not that I want to, but these are the moves I see, that are more plausible and how they go. Bro, you guys excited for this fucking draft or what?
Bro, I just got your images. I'm so stoked.
So
you like
all
that,
4 of us here,
I do like that.
plus
I
Brian
like
and Jason.
Do we have a day 1 or no?
Yes, I gotta get that to you. I also I might have another guest for day 3.
Who?
Brian Carter. He just emailed me I believe it's an 85-page draft analysis of
Jesus Christ. Who has that kind of time?
Bro,
Kuiper?
A guy that's probably coming on. Well, I'm going to have him on my channel tomorrow. Shout out everybody who's watching. 7:30.
Okay.
7:30. 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. He'll come on, and then I've talked to him about coming on Thursday. So he'll plug that. And then, like I said, he's got this draft thing. He'll be busy Friday and Thursday and Friday, it sounds like. But he's down, I guess, to come in on Saturday, which is great timing because he's essentially written 85 pages on between the 3rd round to the 7th round.
Yeah, and let's be honest here. Once once really the third, but once the fourth round hits, a lot of us are going to be going, who the fuck is this guy?
Yep.
Like, where the fuck did this guy come from? You know?
That's why I was like, you'd be great on this show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
you can count on me too, just to be pulling stats left and right.
Hey, do you know who doesn't have a first round pick, though, other than the 49ers and the Rams?
Miami.
Miami's got ours, I think. They might have traded it away.
No.
They might have traded away.
I thought Miami got taken away.
Miami's their pick
Broncos
got taken
country.
away, but not our pick.
Let's
got
ride.
taken away.
Broncos country.
Oh,
Let's ride.
let's ride.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
That shit off the screen.
Yeah, they also don't have a first round pick thanks to that trade. Let's see what Levi's.
We got some good. We got some good news for 49er fans. Looks like that elbow's okay, guys. Watch them take the high fives.
God.
High fives.
Wow.
Yep,
Oh my God!
elbow's
Look
okay,
at that!
right?
Look at that UCL.
Dude.
I saw UCL's good, guys. He's good. He's good to go.
Even-
Look at that. Even though he went with his left hand there. Shh.
So Matt Mayoko, like the biggest 49er, I would say, reporter. He came out. It's like, look at this. It's everything is fine. You look at the high fives he's giving. It's gotta be perfect. It's perfect, guys. And then John Lynch came out during the press conference. Not only did Matt Mayoko ask the first question and almost softball style about Trey Lance and the trading, you know what I mean? But then later he's like, oh, and then Brock Purdy and the high fives. I saw you guys talk about. Yeah, he looked good. Those high fives look good. And I was like, oh my God, John. I love John Lynch. I grew up loving watching him play football. I love the fact that he's my GM. Just sometimes I wish he wasn't so goddamn corny and like exclusive. You know what I mean? Like he's,
Dude,
talks to certain people.
Russell Wilson as your quarterback for fucking 10 years.
God.
Want to talk about corny? We're not even. It's cool. We're good. We can deal with John Lynch.
With
I
the
bet.
mention of guests, I wanted to shout out something to Gunny. Gunny's, of course, one of the Raven guys from my channel. Gunny, I have messaged Cole Jackson, and you should know he's one of the writers for BaltimoreRavens.com. I've asked him to actually come in on our draft show to call in. And for you guys, he's a NFL draft analyst. He just does nothing but draft coverage. Follow him on Twitter. He's got like 15,000 followers, but he's officially now a part-time writer for BaltimoreRavens.com. And so he was willing to come in and do some talks, especially regarding Ravens picks.
I forgot about that. Yeah, we're going to have an actual Baltimore Ravens writer.
Yeah, someone that's featured on BaltimoreRavens.com for his draft analysis. Like, I'm stoked on that. Hopefully he actually answers me back whenever the time is, but he did answer me already and said, just let me know.
And if you guys don't mind, I'm going to plug my show tomorrow. I have a fucking celebrity coming on tomorrow. Yeah, I have Big Low. Probably he literally has a book written about him. He's like the most famous Seahawks fan there is. Ooh. Yeah, he's the guy with the sea fence signs, right? That claps him back and forth or clacks him. So he'll be on tomorrow. Like I said, he's probably the most well-known Seahawks fan that there is. And I mean, there are a lot of well-known Seahawks fans. So, so that'll be awesome. That should spread.
Mr. and Mrs. Hawk. Mr. and Mrs. Seahawk.
So he sits in the seat right next to them. So
gotcha.
Kind of click down there.
Joined at the hip.
Kyle, why don't you tell Ryan about how you became a Seahawk fan, like right at the end of 2012 season, right when Russell Wilson started playing real good?
Who, me?
I'm just being a smart ass.
I'll tell you all about it. Don't worry.
I said, yeah. Kyle's not a 12 since 12 either. I did want to get back to one comment here. Boise State are a good team, but if they were in a better conference, maybe college football would take them serious. I'd like to say to that, John Jay, that you could say the same thing about any team in the Pac-12. There is
Pac-12 gets some love though. I mean, I had the like pre-rankings. We had like 5 teams in the top 25. I think.
They're not the SEC.
Yeah, but I mean, also put the Pac-12 teams in the SEC, and they probably won't win as many games. I could say that about Boise State too. You put them in a Pac-12, and they probably aren't that team. But
well, I just miss in like the mid 2000s when USC was like the Alabama of the West Coast, right? I'd really like there to be a team dominant on the West Coast again in college football. I know this isn't a college football show, but it pisses me off.
Hey, where are these guys coming from in the draft?
I think also when people talk about swapping conferences, like you have to give it a few years because when you're in a bigger conference, that helps recruiting immediately. So
I hate it. I don't know how you guys
NIL money does too.
I hate it.
On your TV time.
Yeah, it's all about money, dude.
Oh.
The problem is with switching conferences too is like not only does the football team, so like USC and UCLA, like they'll play like teams in New York, right? Not only does the football team have to travel there, but the baseball team has to travel there. The gymnastics team has to travel there. It's not just the football team that switches conferences.
And those guys aren't getting the same luxury treatment, on gymnastics or fucking golf or soccer,
Exactly, which they're not bringing the money to the university, but at the same time, it's like, why make them suffer?
I know, that's such an interesting conversation, and that's one I could spend, way too long talking about. As we said, it's not a college football show, but it's just interesting. People debate it with every sport that doesn't get any love, and they're like, well, it's still the same sport, but it's different classification. And
CCU had to move
bring in money.
to
It's hard
get more
to pay
television money.
Yeah.
Coastal
CCU
Carolina
actually-
did? Where my boy
CCU actually had to build a bigger stadium to move to one of the conferences at one point. They had to expand their stadium because to get into certain conferences, you have to have even like minimum seating requirement or attend so you can have that many people in. So CCU had to expand their stadium, and then I think they joined what was the Sun Belt or something. It wasn't much because of course they're still a smaller school, but they're gonna take a step backwards this next year. They lost their coach and their quarterback.
Well,
all right, fellas, I'm gonna hop off. I'm trying to watch the last period of this Kraken game. It's 2-2 right now. So,
all right, later, Kyle.
luck,
Thanks
man.
for coming on. Hope to see you during the draft. Right?
Go Avs.
So,
yeah, I'll be on Thursday.
Go Avalanche.
Yeah, I'm out before we start talking.
Colorado app.
Patrick Watt till I die.
Nah, Kyle's one of my good buddies, and he's so like we kind of tested each other when we first became friends, probably like 6 years ago.
I saw him. He plotted to fuck you in that with taking Hooker Henderson. Hendon Hooker. Oh my God. Yeah. You were butthurt. You were hell butthurt for a second.
Dude, I was. He ruined my whole fucking draft plan there. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And he did it just because he knew you wanted him more than anybody else in the draft.
Well, here's the thing. Is so does he. He's been pounding the drum of Hendon Hooker since September. So he's texting me, check out this guy, Hendon Hooker. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then he tears his ACL, and that kind of works out in Seahawks' favor. Mm-hmm. So
that's what happened with David Ojabo with us. Tore his Achilles at his pro day. It was supposed to be a top 15 pick. Ended up we get him in the second round. Like
another one I'd really like to bring up is Andrew Voorhees, the guy that tore his ACL.
Oh, yep.
I think he'd be a great fit for the Seahawks in the 4th, 5th round.
He was probably going to be one of the better guards in this draft.
Brandon Ayuk ain't going nowhere. That's him and E40 at the Warriors game together.
Hey, favorite.
Hey, Lamar was repping Baltimore chains. I'm just saying.
Hey, so we got about 10 minutes left on this stream. I'm not gonna lie because I gotta go to bed soon.
Heard.
Favorite E40 song of all time? Go, Ryan. Sorry.
It's got to be Mr. Flamboyant. Yeah, I'm just a hustler on the go.
Sorry, I didn't hear it.
Favorite
Out
E40
here making
song
my
of all
propers,
time?
don't you know?
E40 song?
Bro, he's from the East Coast. He don't know shit.
You're right.
Large
And
male
I've
and
got a
all.
boy from the Bay Area. He's a huge
And a
Niners fan
jealous
too, actually, or a
motherfucker
Raiders
would
fan.
love to see me
And he
fall.
always used to school me West Coast, East Coast, how West Coast had better rap and all that. And that's where it really started. And I know G Jones and Snoop.
Mine is Santana DVX with the Lonely Island. E40's featured in that song.
Okay.
I've got to check that out.
You've never heard it?
No, but Lonely Island with Michael Bolton. That's one of my favorites. Where he's talking
Lonely
about
Island.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Oh yeah.
Isn't he the guy that's
And
on
then at
Brooklyn
the end he's
Nine-Nine
talking
now? Or was Jake Peralta?
Yes. One of
I missed
no.
that show.
Well,
I missed that show.
like there was a couple of
He's been everywhere.
Yeah. But no, that was a good one.
Same. Yeah, I don't know.
What's
Y'all
your
probably
favorite
don't listen to
E40
that
song
much.
then, Joe?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I just told you.
Was it? Oh, that's right.
Santana DVX. Levi don't know
That's
shit
not an
about the
E40
West
song
Coast.
though.
It kind of is.
It's not
I
an
mean,
E40
if you
song.
listen to it, he makes the
No.
whole song.
What about Flashing? Motherfucking
I really don't know much E40. I really don't.
Oh, you're gonna wake up to a whole bunch of E40 links.
Probably will.
Especially I already looked up E40. I'm like, oh god, my algorithm's fucked, guys. Thanks.
Like he's the reason for I'd say like 3/4 of the slang in rap.
Let me
He's
ask you, y'all ever heard of Toby Neatway?
He's either spawned the root word. Huh?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. The root word?
Oh, he either spawned the root word or he just created the word itself. You know what I mean? So like, Skrilla. He created that was his word. You know what I mean? Like there's so many words. He just comes out his head with all this stuff.
Creativity, man.
Man, they're yeah. You guys stoked for the draft or what?
Oh, dude, it can't get here
Bro.
fast enough. I wish Baltimore had more picks.
Seahawks
You want some? I got some.
Yeah, none that you want.
I got some picks.
Hey, if I had a second round pick,
Because you can't draft well in those later rounds.
Who?
We
Baltimore?
drafted really well in the later rounds. No, yeah, the 49ers.
Oh, actually, yeah, y'all do. Actually, hold on, I got something for you. In regards to
the
your
49ers, the 49ers
shared earlier.
within the 6th and the 7th round, since they've drafted, since the regime, the Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch regime, I believe it was quoted, they only had one 6th or 7th rounder not make the team. That to me is crazy that you could draft that well, that your 6th and 7th rounders consistently make the team. That's crazy.
Let's see here.
George Kittle was a 5th rounder. Fred Warner, 5th rounder. Or no, Fred Warner might have been a 3rd rounder.
Oh, of course, I can't. I don't think I can blow it up.
Talanoa Farmer, 5th rounder. Seriously, like from the 5th round on, we just don't miss, bro.
Oh, I can't blow it up anymore. But there it is. Since 2000, teams that have drafted the most all first team, all pro selections. My Ravens, second with 16. 49ers, right there with 15. Joe's Seahawks, kind of at the lower side, but still probably better than 20 teams in the league.
They leveraged a lot of their draft capital. Oh, hey, when we're done here, I want to show you guys something.
And by the way, when I said the good, bad, and the ugly theme song last night, it's called The Ecstasy of Gold. That's what I meant.
I found another interesting picture. I don't know how true it is, but it's something we Raven fans probably going to have to do with a lot this season. Apparently, my Ravens, we like to drink.
I did see that.
Where are you at, Seattle?
I saw that and I thought that was bullshit because I could account for at least number 2 on that list.
I know,
I
right?
was pissed.
I
saw
definitely
that.
that was a stat line I was surprised by. I was like, I don't think we
Dude.
drink that hard.
I was watching earlier and I hear a beer get cracked, and I was like, "That's Joe." And I look over and it's you're like, and I was like, "Yep, that's Joe."
Yeah,
You
that's
should
me.
mute your mic. You should mute your mic when you go to crack your beer.
Probably crack
Either
this
that
soda, too.
or turn to the side and crack it so people can still know that you're about ready to we're getting a fresh one, but it's not like right under the mic.
Man, that's my bad.
Oh, I
You're
wish
good.
I had some
You're
alcohol
good.
right now. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, my fridge is always stocked.
I don't usually drink that much. I had a dog when I
Um,
was younger. It would be me on some.
Does anybody want to talk about anything before we get off? Anything?
Yeah, I think we're kind of good to go. Of course, we got the draft day coverage we're doing. I've said it the other day, guys. I don't know how serious I am, but I think it'd be funny to bring all y'all on, call it Around the Bay with D-Rave, and do a panel style show kind of. I was trying to think of some topics kind of we could call throughout the weeks if y'all would be interested in it.
Yeah, anytime. Well, I'm not in the Bay, but yeah,
Well, yeah, I guess you're
I'm
the
sure there would
exception.
be.
Me and you're included. You're in the posse.
I'm off
Doesn't
like
feel to be
Elliot
lumped
Bay.
in with the Niner fans
Yeah.
now. But yeah, I don't think
Ryan, you got anything you need to plug before we go?
I got Niners and Friends with Beto and Mariah, 49er Faithfully, tomorrow on Beto's channel. And then I've got the show with Brian Carter on my channel at 7:30. I think I'm gonna leave Wednesday open. I don't know. Other than that, I've got the draft with you gentlemen. Thursday, Friday, I'll be doing a 49ers recap show Friday night. It's gonna be a long day Friday, and then it's gonna be a long Saturday morning. And then I probably will not want to stream for like a week, but I still will. No, I'll be streaming like
yeah, because then you got to do so
Would be
much post draft
crazy.
coverage. Who's the new free agent wave coming?
Post. Oh
What's
my
the
gosh.
grades? Like, there's so
Yep.
much post coverage to do too. Like,
Yep.
yeah,
So
I might be
there's
calling
that.
into a call show tomorrow. Actually, a Ravens guy called Sip 2 Tally Films. They call him Coach Gunny. Was mentioning him earlier. I tried to call into his show today and couldn't get through, but I'm trying to get plugged in on his show a little bit.
Well, guys, I'd like to say I kind of want to take a kicker. I still want running back. Yeah, Brian, that was probably the only mock draft selection I did not let slide.
Yeah, we couldn't let that one go.
Other than that, guys, you'll see all three of us on draft day 1, 2, and 3. I'm assuming I know I'll be there. I'm assuming Ryan's going to be there. I think Levi will be there.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
So we'll probably all be streaming to our own channels. Yeah, man. So
Hoping my new mic boom comes in so I can look good like No Border Sports.
I'm not a fan of Border Sports mic boom. I like
I got a little one coming in from Amazon with like a soundboard with some like sound effects and stuff. Trying to change the look up, get it more looking like a podcast than I'm playing here, sitting here playing games.
That's what I want.
I
want a soundboard.
I'm going to be going to a 2-camera setup, so I can stand up and talk, and then I can sit down and talk. I'm
jealous of that. My computer, one of my problems I was running into, what's preventing me, like when I was getting rated, on my PC I'm running this on is all like 10 generations old. Laptops now are better than this. Like I've the amount of blue screens of death I've hit on this PC. I'm trying to get the money to get a new PC, but I haven't had work myself. You were talking about that the other day, getting back to work, and I'm like, I feel you, No Border. I feel you, man. Like, but supposedly my order from Amazon's coming in on Saturday, so hopefully Saturday I'll have a new setup.
All right, guys. Well, don't forget, I have a celebrity coming tomorrow at 5:30. Seriously, like no joke. Like I'm not shitting you. I'm surprised he agreed to do it with me. So
congrats on that, by the way. Like that's huge, my guy. Like if you can just make sure when you do the show, have him tweet out. Make sure he shoots out a tweet. That'll get
I
people
am.
into your show.
I am. So I'll be stoked. With that, I think we're out for tonight.
Yep.
See you guys later. Have a good
Yeah.
night.
Thanks for